Fracture. So we lean into the series, the second one of the evening. It's experience versus the new blood. Let's see how we go.
Yeah, a little bit of new blood. We can see that one team's kind of like boot camping as well, so that's always lovely because they're all like right next to each other. They have that synergy going for them, and that's kind of the key point that I'm looking for, as well as we have ZOL starting out on the attacking side and TSA on the defense.
I like that. I like where your brain's going, Quack. So moving into the game, it's always Fracture where the early duels are so important right now. Prodigy's pushing up towards Dish, actually gets caught by Kebsy. So very, very quick one. NDG trying to find the shots, and they will be able to secure 1 and 2. It's actually Vanessa to pick up the second. Eman going down quickly, so no advantage found for either of these teams. It's back to the 3-on-3, but up towards Drop. It's Hot Sauce. He's going to be able to find that one. The Scovilles are nice and high in the round so far, and just leaving it onto these two defenders who do have a firm hold of the spike, but I'm keeping my eyes on that rotation around from Sin. NDG, though, able to make it work. All on the Sin in the 1v2, and in the end, it's going to be Vanessa to get him. So I feel like ZOL kind of fumbled the bag a little bit towards the end there. But Team Secret Academy, great composure, and a fantastic round from the Tejo of NDG.
Oh, man. I'm afraid I have to agree, though, with the way that they fumbled the bag, because they had, you know, the numbers, and they kind of knew where their opponents should have been, at least, given where the spike was. But they got a little bit too eager. They peeked into the fights, and because one player was crouched, I think that threw off the crosshair placement a little. And Zint, you know, I think if they waited just a second longer, then they would have kind of that 3-man peek with Zint from the back. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So we're going to the next round to start things off a little bit early with the salvos to give them a little bit more space as they pick up the alt board.
I've only spent a little bit of time playing against Tejo, and those salvos can be an absolute pain in the backside. Same with the stealth drone. Not a crazy busted agent by any means. You know, you see some of these agents come in for the first time. They're super overpowered before that initial nerf. Obviously, look at what they did to Neon. Wasn't super strong at the beginning, then became way too strong, and then now has simmered back a little bit more. So not a 100% pick as we saw at Ascension, but still not out of the cards either. So rotation around, Outlaw here. Prodigy does go a little bit too slow on that opening shot, which means he does have to invest a little further. So be careful. So salvos will go out now. Prodigy actually does get cut off by the special delivery, so it's going to try and get out. Holding on for as long as possible. Outlaw's still there. They're just trying to shoulder it out. It's still an awkward time, but again, another missed shot. Prodigy's got to be careful here, but Seeker at least does get one. Now with that flashpoint out to keep them alive. Prodigy somehow lucky to be in this position. I don't know what is happening right now. I thought ZOL would have frags. They should have sight control, but Prodigy's going to be able to pick that one up. And Emin as well, he can find one, but that's about all she wrote. Team Secret come in before alive.
All right, Team Secret with their map pick, just showing off their setups right now. I mean, the Outlaw, sure, maybe the shots didn't quite land perfectly, but you have players like Secret who's like right around the corner and able to, you know, bail his teammate out. And at the same time, they're able to work with the salvos that they've got. The paint shells also, I think ZOL tried to break that apart, but again, just with the Spectre able to spray all of that down. I think we need to see both teams kind of working around the map a little bit more, because right now Team Secret Academy, they're just very comfortable to hold off towards these info sight lines, and if they're not seeing too much, you know, they're going in for that pinch towards the other side of the spawn as well. Now, that's quite a bit of information already.
Tripwire destroyed.
So much of it. But ZOL pretty happy to just play the fundamentals, sit together, just clear out the angles together, right? You know, that's one of the joys of this map as well. Despite having a fair bit of control, if you're able to trade it out and find your position and hit heads like that, Sid does get tagged up by the Outlaw in the end, but now Seeker marking only off a couple of shots with the Ghost. They do manage to force them back, so it's a little bit awkward here right now. The special delivery keeps them at bay for just a second, but Eman will be able to find his position on towards the site. The stealth drone does suppress him for just a second, but again, you know, there is still time to work with. NDG will be forced away. Guided Salvos does deny the spike plan, though, giving Vanessa some additional time here. Maybe this is workable for TSA still here, Quack, as Spike still yet to go down. NDG swinging in, but there's Eman. Very nicely done. Leaves it all into Vanessa in a 1v3.
Spike planted.
Once again, it is that
Last player
He's
standing.
able to launch the assaults in
Hang
low
on.
HP. Vanessa! He lands the final shot and picks up and converts the bonus for TSA.
Wow, that was incredible, right? You know, just walking straight through the sky smoke. A little bit of poor timing there. Zen did make the call, but by the time he's called that audible, right, one of your teammates is dead. And then quickly able to pick up the second, and then 10 HP. So a great clutch 1v3 to come out from the Cypher of Vanessa. But I think it was all on that utility, right, for Team Secret Academy. The way that they're able to buy the time, denying the spike plant. Great stuff from the Academy side here on this attacker's side of Fracture.
Yeah, for NDG to keep those salvos, to like spam them into the typical default spike plant spots as well around the A side. I think that does quite a bit. So we'll keep an eye on that for some of the upcoming rounds. But for now, it is that eco buy, a little bit of a half buy for ZOL as the Marshal and the Guardian comes in. Ammon is sitting on the Armageddon though. He did pick up quite a bit of kills from the previous round, so maybe using that for a bit of an execute or some of the future rounds. While Team Secret Academy, they're just happy to once again poke and prod a little bit through. They didn't see too much towards a main, so now thinking towards Dish.
Drone is down.
Clearing once again with the drone. Okay, at least they spotted out another player.
Seeker's found ahead. Does have to fall away as the Marshal does pepper him up a little bit. They're not overstaying their welcome though. Just happy with that damage. Gonna walk away for now. Orb collected from the Dish. But Zen, look at this position. They are going to clear it. A little bit unlucky there. Quite looking to where he needed to be. Now with that Neural Theft going out. Information gathered nice and quickly. Up into the tower will be Kakarot, but what about it then by Vanessa? They are just fantastic. Look at this from Vanessa. Back-to-back rounds looking ever so strong, and Eman all alone doesn't have the Guardian, but it's going to be Vanessa with the ace. And into the fourth round here, Team Secret Academy are dominating right now, Quack.
Mate, he just used the neural theft. He just used it, and because of the ace, now he's halfway to the next neural theft. That is insane value. Oh my god. Especially with this trick as well, because now that's something that Zol's gonna definitely have to watch out for.
Let's go, bro!
Oh,
yeah,
what a pop.
I agree.
What is his
I
background?
agree.
Oh my
I
god.
know. Based as hell. Man's got more plushies than he knows what to do with.
Labubu?
He's 11-0 right now, Kentrell. Like, the fact is, a 1v3 clutch into an ace is a happy sort of position. But, again, it is a team game. You do need to do it all together. So, Prodigy gets very aggressive. Special delivery doesn't quite connect. But Sid has been taken down. Kevzy gets another for the trade. But, unfortunately for Emin and Hot Sauce, they're wondering where the hell the rest of the team has gone. They're separated. They do go through the tunnel now. But Vanessa, he doesn't want to die just yet. He's now got 12-0. And Hot Sauce, unfortunately, a little bit burnt out, unfortunately. Sometimes people don't like too much spice.
And then need a glass of milk to wash it down, but right now, 1-on-4, I mean, you're either gonna save and buy out as much time as possible. We'll try to find a couple of picks. He does get one, but continuing to swing out, Applix will find the headshot that ends the round. So 5-0 so far for Team Secret Academy. I would not be surprised if Coach JCL for the side of ZOL calls a timeout, pretty soon, because I feel like they do need it. They are close to their ultimates, but right now it just seems, or it feels as though it's difficult for them to get a good grasp or a good read over the map. Team Secret Academy are just feeling the confidence and trying to throw them off on the pacing. I mean, they pushed out in that previous round.
It's just such an interesting map, isn't it, Fracture, right? It shouldn't really benefit a defender-sided team, rather. The amount of space that you have to collect and proactivity that you've got to put out. But Team Secret are pretty happy with that right now. They are really leaning into what they need to do. And all the way in towards Dish. They've got that control. They're leaving the rest of the setup over towards B. Watching just from generators, from Canteen. They're just chilling. Don't need to do anything, really. And now as ZOL walk their way through, it's going to be Seeker to control onto the line. Does have the fault line available. Sky Smokes go down. So they're happy to let this spike get planted. But with a 4v5 on the retake back, it's going to be tough. And Kevzy might even go down to the aftershock here as well. No, he will just get away. But will he use the Rolling Thunder? We'll have to see.
Not quite. NDG did use the Armageddon to clear out the site, create a little bit more space for Prodigy to get deeper in Stealth Drone as well to kind of get a good ping. The Nast to spam into the site, and that's the site clear. They know that the rest are practically inside of a main. The counter utility comes through. Paint shells Armageddon as well. Evan fires a shot in towards the Nest. Aplix tries to set up a bit of a flank, finds the timing on towards Evan, but the shot back from Kevzy. But with the smoke in his way, no spams available. Team Secret Academy picks up yet another round.
Well, what happened there is Kevzy uses the Rolling Thunder. Unfortunately, it doesn't go deep enough, doesn't deny that spike defusal. And for Seeker, he can just sit there and happily take the defuse. And, you know, now we look at it. Aplix, one away from the orbital strike. Prodigy, one away from the overdrive, and Seeker, you know, almost there on his own Rolling Thunder. So a little bit disappointing, I guess you could say, for ZOL, who do have 3 of their ultimates as well. They do have another buy here, but 0-6 is not somewhere where we're expecting this one to go at all. Pretty happy with it. Salvos go out, aggression in, Aplix opens up with 1, traded out though by Emin. So here we go, ZOL finally with the advantage, and now as Prodigy goes on in, does get trapped on the wire, but they're just going to ignore him completely, head up towards the site. I mean, look, this is certainly a doable round on the retake, but with the positions that ZOL's taking in now, it will be a challenging one.
Staggered approach worked out for ZOL, and now able to hold from drop, from spawn, a little bit of heaven as well. It's tough for our Team Secret Academy to really break through. At least Seeker, though, looking for a bit of a sight line. But, yeah, ZOL are happy to just make sure that they're not quite exposed to a lot of these angles. It might just be the save or some possible exits that continue to hold outside the door, hoping for at least a kill. But Zind denies any possibility outright. Just Prodigy off the save, and that's the entire round.
I'm out of here.
Not mad about that. That is the round, definitely, that ZOL needed. If it started to get a little bit further away from them, you may have started to count them out on a map like this. But again, you know, it does play very, very differently. It is the map selection of Team Secret Academy. Clearly, they've been cooking inside the kitchen. And Quack, you know how much I love to dine. Call me gastronomy. Yep, that's the one. Got it right.
That's the one.
Shout out Victoria Cheng.
Nice. Well, we'll see how the rest of this dish cooks up, because right now it's so that was a successful round, but they're going to need quite a bit more. I mean, trying to get a good read for it round to round, and Team Secret Academy to continue to go back in for this 3-stack towards A main. Earlier round didn't work out before, so they go for it a second time with an op on the other side of the map. Finesse shuts down the initial push.
Gotta be happy with that again. Immediate response out after losing that round, you know, keeping the composure. Now Aplix on the middle of the site. They've got to be careful of Kakarot's position. He's cleared out so much, but Rory is allowed to find one. Now Kakarot fires off the showstopper. A little bit kind of lackluster there. You know, he wasn't really sort of ready for it, but Eman has been doing damage on for the ace here if he can be successful here. But Rolling Thunder is available for Seeker. I mean, Hot Sauce does have the orbital strike, but they've obviously got to find that spike plant first. And now what does Eman do? He's actually pushing forward, trying to maybe join, or is he going to be pushing into a generator position? Maybe doable, maybe on the swing here, but no, it's denied. Eman will not find the ace as Seeker doesn't even have to burn the Rolling Thunder. Prodigy one step closer to the overdrive, and Team Secret Academy, they immediately strike back.
I'm not going to lie, Coffee. That 2-on-2 is kind of a feels bad moment. I don't want to say that they threw it, but they kind of overcooked it. They had the spot to get the spike down, but they were afraid, or afraid of some incoming spams, or they were thinking of trying to send it across, sell a bit of a fake to make Team Secret Academy think that they were, you know, rotating all the way across. But unfortunately, they pushed straight into their opponents, and well, we saw the outcome of what happened then. I mean, they could have just stuck onto the spike on the site, because I think the Brimstone had the orbital strike. But that was, you know, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. JCL will intervene and call the timeout. They are sitting on the ultimates, which can be, you know, useful for some of the upcoming rounds. But again, right now, Team Secret Academy, with the way that they're keeping, you know, certain spots posted all across the map, they're actually just keeping control over these pivotal positions where they're then able to come in for the quick refill or the quick retake, so it's as it were. And right now, once again with this op back in, it's just such an impressive tool at locking down some of these lanes. You know, it's like a 4-lane map, right?
To think about, really, the amount of different angles you need to take, the amount of different approaches. So again, pressure very much back onto ZOL. All rounds they lose, the further away it feels. Doesn't quite get around the corner, and NDG is gonna find him again. So now Eman does pick back up the pieces. You know, TS, they've done so well to invest that early resource into trying to clear out some of these extremities, and they still have control of A main, right? Prodigy's there, not too far away, is going to be Seeker in the sands. Will he be the Prince of Persia? We'll have to find out shortly as he hops back up into the high heavens. Just keeping NDG there to watch on and support Prodigy.
Go ahead. Stand and ground.
And it's hurt him, trying to flush him out with the Armageddon, but look at how he's able to sidestep it. Definitely the Prince with the parkour in towards A main, but unfortunately gunned down by M, who holds his ground. Seeker, though, still holding on towards Sands. That's at least a couple, and that's enough damage for NDG to get yet another. Incendiary comes through, and Kessie might have bypassed it, but the orbital strike comes up, flush him out of position. The pop strike to work against him, and that's gonna be yet another round for Team Secret Academy.
Yeah, fantastic stuff, you know, utilizing the orbital strike to force him straight into the operator line. Well traded out as well, you know, Seeker gets 2, NDG, he gets 1, it's traded out quickly, but just how well TSA were able to work together there with their utility, with their positioning, to just make sure that it was one after the other, right? No one goes in high and dry, they've got resources to get them both in and out. So it's been fantastic stuff, and over on the side of ZOL, it's basically been the Eman show, and that's about it. So Kakarot this time tries to forego and get past the guided salvos. Sind also keeping an eye towards Tree, but Vanessa's already up there. Sind, great shot. Does get traded by Applix. Now they're looking for something more. It is going to be that operator in the hands of Prodigy. Not going to be able to connect with anything just yet. Hot Sauce actually the one to find in 4-on-3.
That could be a bit of an opener for ZOL, trying to get inside still, but the cross is being held, and here comes the spray. Seeker, he gets them too! And his teammates right around the corner as well. Kessie trying to fight back against them, but they've kind of evaded all of those bullets already. Trying to get the spike down now, but here comes a bit of a fault line. Hot Sauce right around the corner. Does have the ult as well, but maybe not quite the opportunity. Let's get Applix out from the back. There's the trade. Opens up a little bit more space. Spike not yet down. So Team Secret Academy looks to push, but Kessie fends them off. Rolling Thunder out now, and okay, Applix uses the propulsion to get himself into safety. Kessie down to just 5 HP. And he's trying to go in for the duel. As Applix predicted, and he does! Cuts him down at his torso. The 3rd kill in the round for the guy, and Team Secret Academy picks up yet another round.
So did he throw down the stim beacon so he could run a little bit faster?
He might have.
That's crazy. If he did, I don't know if that was the case or not, but the fact that he managed to just slip the net of the Rolling Thunder, once again, it's that position where ZOL have to invest so much for so little of an outcome, right? You know, that's twice now where we've seen Kevzy put out this Rolling Thunder, which is one of the most expensive ultimates in the game, right? To unfortunately not get a hell of a lot out from it. It is such an impactful ultimate for it to be utilized and net no reward. Kakarot is going to drop the satchels to get his way back in. Unfortunately, though, NDG just kind of gets caught in the crossfire a little bit there by those salvos. Taken down immediately, so it's an advantage going the way of ZOL. Once again, you know, they go towards this A side. It feels like the definition of insanity, right? A bit of Groundhog Day doing the same thing over and over and over again. Will they find success here as Sin does deep into the dish? No, he can't. Unfortunately, his bowl will be empty. 4-on-4 on this retake.
Okay, at least they do have the drop, and that would be quite pivotal. Oh, unfortunately, Kakarot not quite looking the right way, so Seeker picks off yet another player. Orbital strike from Hot Sauce comes in just a by a little bit more spacing. That isn't going to be enough, though. Still, with the firepower on some of these Team Secret Academy players, they push through. Kevzi in for the Sheriff kill. Emma out from the back. Finesse, though, hunting them down as that Rolling Thunder gets sent through. Now in with the salvos, onto the spike, but it's not going to be enough. Seeker just right behind the cage, guns down Emmett. And that's going to be, wait, probably enough time. Yeah, another round for Team Secret Academy. 0.35 seconds, Conti.
Man.
Last round in
That's
the half.
crazy. Call him Harry Potter, the man. He'd be playing Quidditch well, this Seeker. So, very, very good round again from the breach. You know, having your initiator play so impactful is a crazy important thing, especially on a map like this where you do really need that extra utility to try and find that space early. And, you know, Vaness 18 and 5, Seeker 12 and 6 now. You don't even need your Neon to do anything at this point in time, and you're still 10 to 1. That is a crazy start here for Team Secret Academy. Again, I remind you, both these teams, 1 and 2, ZOL, a very, very experienced team. You know, as you said, they're seasoned veterans. They've played plenty of lands. They've been together for a while. There's been a couple of roster changes, sure, but this is not a result that you'd be expecting. I will, at the very least, you know, put it down to the fact that Fracture has not been back in the pool for a while. Not really being tested, but a lot of teams are trying to take advantage of it. As we see it now, Prodigy is going to march his way through. Kenzie gets two back, but now it's back onto Seeker, and unfortunately Sind. Yeah, well, look, he's a long way away, and the spike is dropped in spawn. So bad luck, buddy. We'll wait for the next half, will we?
That just might have to be it. Vanessa, the angle marked as well. Oh, man.
Blink and you'll miss it. 11 to 1 is the scoreline. ZOL need this pistol round desperately. Otherwise, they'll be just thinking about the next map, which is, again, a Filipino treasure, that map of Haven. But Team Secret, you know, they've got what the doctor ordered, I suppose, by the Asian mix right now. And it's seeming to work for them in dividends. So, yeah, it's all looking pretty happy for this roster so far. But again, this map of Fracture, it's a new territory for some of these teams that haven't adopted it for a while. So I might just put it down to the one-sided map affair, but they've still got to close it. Still got to get this done.
Let's see what happens, at least for now. You know, Team Secret Academy starting things off a little bit slow, but the sudden burst of utility in towards the A side calls the rotation from ZOL just as quick. Prodigy, though, lands the opening shot. Hot Sauce answers right back. Kevzi takes down Prodigy. Atlas and the rest of the team will continue to flood and push on through, but the mountain of trades coming out on both ends just leaves the result of Vanessa in the one-on-one. He lands the ghost shot. He spots him out by a pixel.
The double dink as well onto the head just above the sky smoke. That is brutal. You've got to be feeling it right now. It is. It's 100% game, right? You know, you think about some of these players. Kakarot has a single kill on this raise. Your duelist not able to do anything, right? And that's the clutch situation. He dinks up, tags up Vanessa. Zim, 3 and 12. Hot Sauce, 6 and 12. They just haven't been able to get a chance to activate. And Kevzi and Eman have been working so damn hard, but they're just fighting a brick wall at this point in time. And Team Secret, they have got some serious structural integrity.
Yo, and look at this judge being brought up on the final, well, what could potentially be the final round as well, Conky.
Certainly rubs salt in the wound, this weapon, doesn't it? Still remember Lakers like 1.5 or 2 second ace with the judge on Ascent many moons ago back home in Oceania. Missed that man a hell of a lot. But yeah, he's up close. Straight in this sky smoke. Kakarot, Eman waiting to push forward. Don't have a player too far away in Kevzi as well. Waiting on that smoke to fade now. Special delivery ready to be popped, but they're just playing so proactive, aren't they? Waiting, no, reactive rather. Waiting for it to all come to them.
Players right in this spot. But all of a sudden the push comes out. Unfortunate for ZOL as their setup completely gets broken apart. Kevzi tries to answer back, throws off a piece of utility just to buy a bit more time for the rotations to come through. Thankfully, they have arrived in time, but is it going to be enough, though? Hot Sauce opens off with a Sheriff kill. Kevzi up to the Spectre. Zin at the Bucky, but it's not enough. Down to just Kevzi. and he's backed himself into our A main, trying to make use of the angle. Down to 13 seconds, gets the opening kill. Off to the next. Spike picked up. Kevzi comes up huge. ZOL picks up one more round and extend their life.
They can breathe, but not very well. They're having an Asper attack right now, ZOL. They're trying. They've had their inhaler. They'll keep on kicking for as long as possible, but they may need a rest very soon.
One enemy remaining.
Putting so much pressure on themselves here, back up against the wall, and for a single round to be secured by Kevzi. All you can really hope for at this point in time, Quack, is just a few rounds on the board. It might not be a victory. It might just be some sort of momentum that you can take into the next map, right?
That's definitely it. At least a bit of a consolation prize, morale boost, whatever you might want to call it. At least for this round, with the guns on their hands. Health tossed over, a lot more aiming control. The spike being dropped is going to be huge value for ZOL.
Slow waltz in. Not really much that can be done here unless there's some really good timing. I might have jinxed it there, Vanessa. That is a massive pick. The only thing is, it's just the judge. Now, Hot Sauce can find the line up towards the tower, but from the canteen, he won't be snacking just yet. Mum didn't give him enough money, so he's going to have to wait for lunchtime to roll around. So Seeker up very close. If he can get Kakarot, oh, that would be so rough. But in the end, Kakarot finally can get some level of redemption. All left onto Prodigy and Vanessa tucked away just outside the arcade. Is there a slight gap inside the salvos? Yes, there is. Enough to keep them living now in towards the site, but it's a great shot from Hot Sauce and Kakarot to close too. 3 alive. Massively important round there from ZOL, and that's what we talk about. Just string a couple together. Just make this comeback look somewhat convincing enough that we can think about a third map into this series. That's what we're going to need from ZOL so far if TSA keep going the way that they are.
Well, I'm going to hold on to that, though, because with the full lives coming up, I did suddenly feel a little bit of nervousness. ZOL, you know, they had a good idea of just pushing them towards Canteen and holding that space, you know, to aid them in this post-plant especially. And I think that a little bit of footstep kind of baited Vanessa into peeking out as well with that judge. Unfortunately, not quite finding the range. So, still though, 2 guns down. It's ZOL down with, you know, slightly weaker economy. They're going to have to do what they can with this current buy, while Team Secret just full sends into the B site.
No holds barred. He's straight in there, trying to deny everything. But Emma does find the information. Great scan onto Applix there. From Sims. Now as that spike does get planted, they are going to expend the Rolling Thunder. No chance to actually get the spike down. They're going to have to retreat for now, falling away through the sky back towards the tree, which does make it a little bit awkward, but Hot Sauce maybe overstepping his welcome a little bit there, trying to join Eman, trying to help out, and oh, Kakarot, you're going to have to throw out this Spirit Bomb hard if you're going to win out this round in the 1v3. NDG does try to clear in towards the angle. Seeker is watching very, very close and up on the line. One will be found. A second, no, not quite. It will be Prodigy to step up to the plate and knock the man out of the park. Duelist is not something that we are unfamiliar with on a map like this. You know, quite often we would see the, you know, the Jet Reyna or, you know, the Neon and Jet come out on something like this. But yeah, the Reyna isn't something that we see all the time now. So you kind of got to hope that they are going to go hard here and really bring it back, because if they don't, they might fall flat on their face pretty hard against Team Secret Academy and make it, again, quite a quick night for us, right? You know, I had an early night last night thinking that, you know, surely we're going to have the flip side tonight, right? It's going to be a 3-map extraordinaire on both series, but yeah, that hasn't been happening so far. But anyway, we can always see a change in the tides as we do move into the map here of Haven for Valorant Challengers SEA Group B. A few more days left of this stage before we do get our way into playoffs. And Sin, yeah, he's all the way out to sewers this time. One early shot, and we'll use the dismiss to get out of there quickly.
That's already value. The Secret Academy, though, they spam away and they find a shot as well, just around the edge of the smoke. And into that, now that's a weapon picked up. Team Secret Academy able to maybe look for a rotation across. I mean, Vanessa's already lurking towards B Cubby, and that's quite a bit to work against ZOL as well.
Where do they take this 4-on-4 now?
Take
Pretty
flight.
locked down up towards B with the trap wire.
Bot coming
NDG
back.
clearing out garage now as best as possible. Vinesse wants to pop this, but are they going to actually go up towards the site here? They might have to go quickly because on the flip side, ZOL, they've already taken that A long control, but look at the way that they're actually trying to find this plant. It's planted for A link. And are they going to be ready for this here? I don't think they are aware of where this one's gone down. They might get the info in just a second. The circle of that spike now has been spotted, but it's going to be an all-out brawl here on the B site, Quack.
Okay, Seeker starts things off, has the angle in towards B, and well, at least a bit of a trade from Emin as well. Now coming through with the shot dart, but Vinesse holds his ground again. NDG off to the other side, Applix as well. Just no trades found for the side of ZOL, barring the one, and Team Secret Academy will start things off just as hot as they did before.
Beautiful stuff there from Team Secret Academy, you know, losing the 1-for-1. Happy with that, but even the proactivity there to come on through from ZOL, you know, they lose the member after taking one up to sewers, and then they regress a little bit later to get back in towards window, dropping down, and yeah, unfortunately just not able to set themselves up into positions to trade, right? So a couple of investments in from Emin and Zimmed onto the Sheriff, which, you know, that is always an interesting sign to see. It doesn't exactly give you the best buy into that third round. So now the recon bolt out early. Nothing scanned out. Just leaving just the one member in Kakarot down towards the sewer. And, you know, I hate to point it out, but he did have a rubbish game in the previous one. And, you know, he's going to have to pick up a hell of a lot more. You know, you got to rely on your duelist. And now as they get into window, Alarmbot does spot that information. And now they're going to try and fight the good fight here. But they don't want to bar off at ZOL. They're straight back towards B.
All right, at least they got the quick utility. I do wonder, though, if Kakarot and Emin start pushing down A short at any point in time, because they know that their opponents are starting to look for that rotation across the map. Maybe if Zind picks up further intel outside of C, that's why he's starting to move a little bit now, but nothing found just yet. So Kakarot just trying to stay within range of that classic right click. Team Secret Academy, though, not trying to toy with danger inside of A short, so it might just be the full rush, the full send through A long.
30 seconds left.
Up into position already.
One enemy
Emin
remaining.
gets one, but
Spike down.
as
A.
he blinks, the rest of his team's gone. Zin left all on his lonesome. You can't really expect a hell of a lot from a round like that. Great shot from Zind in the end. He's going to be able to get a little bit of extra HP from that Devour. Still one Lear available too. Prodigy low, but I don't really think that Team Secret Academy is going to give up a hell of a lot more. They seem to have parked their positions, not overextending. They're aware as to where Zind is coming from. It's going to have to be a pretty tough clear in towards sewer. They get the info. Now they can just tuck up. With that flashpoint going out, it's going to be a little bit too tricky for Sin. So 3 alive for Team Secret. Not a bad looking bonus they'll have into the next. Prodigy's got the Phantom. Bulldog secured. And yeah, let's see this purchase from ZOL, because as we know, you know, a couple of players picking up those Sheriffs. It's just going to be the half shield, unfortunately. So into it now, ZOL with another chance. But once again, you know, Team Secret Academy starting off very, very strong here, Kentrell.
Yeah. I'm wondering, though, I don't mind the regen shield buys. I do wonder if ZOL starts to push out a little bit more aggressively, given the double duelist setup that they do have. Get Crash sent towards the back of A just to possibly reinforce if needed. But as we start off the round, Team Secret Academy already just avoiding the A site. They're going in with a drone. They've managed to trip the trap. And they're going straight into the site. Starting things off with Prodigy. Dash proc. And he's noted that there is a player on the other side. Tries to break open the lines, allowing for his teammate to come through with a refill. Seeker, and there it is. A shot fired in. The site broken apart by NDG. Kakarot tries to fire right back, takes Prodigy down, and that's not too bad.
Spike now planted. Sitting back as best they can. Once again, a very, very tough retake to come on through. You know, a 2 versus 4. 5 HP for NDG. Sure, Eman does get tagged up in the process. Scan is good, but you know, how much can they find here? Kakarot traded out immediately, and unfortunately for Eman, unless he gets a blind spray through this dark cover, I just don't think there's an opportunity. Already pushing for him as well. Seeker, will he catch him? No. That might have been an overstep potentially, but with that timer ticking. I don't know if Emin still wants this. It's just going to be NDG and Vanessa to take their weapons in towards the next round. But the bonus secured here by Team Secret Academy. It's the second time they've done that. And yeah, I don't think ZOL look very happy about this right now, Quack. They are frustrated. And I don't blame them, because this is a pretty surprising result, I would say, for me.
Yeah, it's incredibly tricky for sure. I mean, when the opposing team just gets such a good read for how the map is being played, the fact that it's, you know, a 3-site map as well, I mean, it really thins our defenses. So Team Secret just really sends it into the C site, outside of Garage as well, where ZOL are not quite able to hold. So everything just kind of crumbles apart. You really need to pick your moments, I guess. But with a composition like this, you know, that's why I'm really scratching my head. It's not going to be easy. They have to look for picks. And that's what Sid is trying to do right now with the Sheriff. But he walks into the crossfire, the crosshair of Prodigy. Applix and DG on the other end as well. The entire A site is locked down.
Man. As again, you blink and you miss it, right? The whole team of ZOL has just evaporated completely. Really not very hydrated in this matchup. Hot sauce. Again, a little too spicy. Not everyone likes it. And as they creep on in, once again, there's just too strong of a wrap. You've got the lurk here. Great shot onto Prodigy. You can see who's a little bit frustrated by that one. Recon bolt goes out, but all they need to do is just pick the line together, and that's exactly what they will do. Vanessa wasn't too far behind. An easy 4-0 there for Team Secret Academy. Don't really know what to say, Kentrell, about how ZOL can approach this differently, right? You know, it's just, again, that defensive side that can be challenging when you're not feeling on point together as a unit. They seem to have potentially thrown out a little bit of this here. But again, you know, if you're a team like ZOL, you need to be taking every game super serious. Not to say that they're not, but they've just got to get their heads back into the game. You know, they've got to take every round alone as itself, isolated, and just think about the next moment as opposed to letting this Team Secret Academy steam train look more like the Mugen train.
Oh, man. Well, anything continues to happen, you might just find a hole inside of your torso. ZOL at least attempts to fight back with full forces. Empress pop, Evan able to take the first shot. Kekrot with the swing as well. Seeker trying to fight back. He does find the trade. Applix taking down Zind as well. Now we're back to an even 2-on-2.
At least there is a level of separation here, right? You know, Applix is low, 10 points of HP. Kevzy isn't going to be able to find him just yet. That dark cover does give him some respite, some safety, as we can wait for this rotation to come through from Vanessa. But I think he's actually going to try and fight this. If he gets onto the line early, it should be an easy shot onto Applix. No! How does he hit that? And straight out of his chair, Kevzy has lost his mind. Rotation is there as well. Hot sauce, the only good thing is that he's got his utility set up. A trap wire at the front of C, front of garage, the cam to watch mid. But how far away does he want to sit here, right? He has to keep switching between that cam. He might get some information, but information is only just a part of the game, right? They're going to destroy the trap wire now, make their way in towards the site. It's a hell of a long rotation, and as that cyber cage isn't going to do much, they do make their way forward, and it's going to be a spike plant deep towards spawn. But again, Quack, that's maybe not the place. They are looking for it, though. The paranoia is going to go up. It actually is going to catch too, but they don't want to overinvest, and instead they're just going to get that dark cover down.
And it's a really deep one as well, Conky, so it makes it that much more difficult for Hot Sauce to walk through. But that said, maybe Garage, he's thinking about it. Applix is down to low HP. If he can at least find him first, that might be a little bit more doable. Oh, Swords Vanessa out by around the edge of the Foxes, and that's the final shot in towards Applix with a final burst. Good little round, good little moment for Hot Sauce as he clutches things out 1-on-2.
Desperately needed for the team of ZOL, right? They look so deflated, so defeated. And it's a moment in time where you really need to just sort of look back and say that this game is still winnable. This whole series is winnable, right? Just got to get your head back into the game and trade it out accordingly. So great shot there and great response from Hot Sauce. It was such a tricky round for him to pick up. But he does get it done. And now they've just got to focus on putting one foot in front of the other. Because all ultimates up bar one. Just the lockdown is there for Team Secret Academy.
There's a potential to go in for a bit of a conventional combo play, possibly, but given their current positions, I don't think that's going to be possible. Or, I mean, I don't think that's going to be a consideration right now. Meanwhile, though, Team Secret Academy, I mean, they've found much success towards A so far, and they're trying to make it happen. And they do have the alarm bot around window as well to watch the back, though. So, Zin's going to trip that. Player down on towards the other end as Vanessa finds a kill as well. And that's just so much more control and space for Team Secret Academy.
Information is a big part of the game, right? Control, spacing. They haven't had to burn any of those ultimates just yet either to contest for this space. Happy to just leave Prodigy over towards long. The setup is there on this site of A, but if they can pick off, you know, one of these members like Zind, but he will be able to get a pick. Doesn't need to pop any of that extra utility. Happy to just wait for the team to make their way in. No Lears available is the only sort of issue here. And now Zeman does get spotted out. He's going to have to shift up back towards the site. Does have the bolt and the shock bolt ready to throw out. Already up towards that position. Emma now trying to clear, but instead getting overwhelmed. Zin does get one, though, in the end. And once again, this pesky Reyna is still alive, still at the back of the site, trying to hold on for as long as possible here, Quack. 20 seconds. How long can he stay there? Do they even want to go for this? They are going to try and get that plant down. Vanessa spotted. They have to try and clear him. They have to try and move in together, but the flank is already there. Kakarot and Sin, the double duelist. That's what they need to get working. If they make this happen, maybe there's a chance of bringing it through on Bind, but again, they still have to just keep focused and keep composed for these next couple of rounds.
Yeah, it definitely has to be the entire play. You got to keep yourselves locked in, especially retrieving early information. I think that was kind of the sell there. You know, with a bit of a push out from C, it lured ZOL in towards the B site, even with a bit more presence outside of A. And that's when, you know, these two duelists were able to work together, especially with, I think, Kakarot outside of Garage towards the back of the B site. I mean, the opening of the B site. So it's plays like that that really opens things up. And for Team Secret Academy, down to, you know, the timer and feeling the pressure and things like that, that's where they kind of start to buckle. That's where you start to see a little bit more of that experience showing. You know, you might think about it, and they still have the potential. They're still leading in terms of the score, so I wouldn't expect them to shake too much, but it's definitely a bit of an opening for ZOL.
Something to work with. They take the timeout. They have a little bit of a conversation here. Team Secret Academy not wanting this to get too far away from them, right? You know, they set themselves up for success nicely. They've still got plenty to work with here. Prodigy not investing too far. Only going to be pulling out the blades alongside the shorty. 4 Vandals in tow. A little bit of coin behind them too. So they should be able to reinvest as well. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty quick play here. They will be following the drone in. The catch, not quite. Our drone does narrowly miss, but this is just going to be the El Clasico, right? The full 5-on-5 retake is there immediately in towards the site. They're not going to be forced out. They clear up the utility. The nanos don't quite get a hell of a lot.
ZOL, though, they are noting that they have a lot of ultimates, so they just completely take the side. That's why it's happening this way. Here comes that Dimensional Drip Hunter Fury combo. It eliminates NDG and now softens up the site.
Kakarot looking for more. Sitting from the back of the side, he will be able to pepper away on a few warning shots through that long smoke, but it's going to be Seeker to try and find something, but unfortunately for Vanessa, it's going to be all on him. Does take one straight through the smoke there. If he can continue to ping, it is going to be the gate crash out. The double up the spray. Oh no! 11 points of HP for Zin. Team Secret are starting to hurt. They're starting to bleed. Limping now through these last couple of rounds. It has been close. It has been a hot contest, right? There's not been a single one-sided round, which was very much the start of this game, Quack. But yeah, one round the difference. Now ZOL, they're here to play.
It came close to it. I mean, once again, it was a round where the two duelists from ZOL last ones alive. And that flash really threw things off. That Vanessa might have actually found the kills. But he almost found the spray as well. Thanks to that, though, I mean, now you're starting to see that ZOL, if they come in with a strong retakes plan like that, it definitely can kick things off. But that was one of those rounds where you might think it's far and few between because they had 2 ultimates that really gave them that opening. Now it's going to be Zin looking for the opening with a shot from A short. Team Secret Academy left scratching their heads.
What's happening here now, they say? It's been the opening pick secured now for the side of ZOL.
You should run.
Something that we weren't really getting to see a hell of a lot in this map or the previous. Slow walk in now. Just burning that lockdown, trying to get that control. ZOL, it's going to be a little bit awkward here as Zin has to take the very, very deep line. He's not going to be detained, but they've overlooked this for now, Quack. So if they don't clear him, they might be a little bit overconfident. Prodigy gets one, but they're going to line up, and Reyna says more. The 4K for the Reyna. It seems like a troll pick, but it is certainly not. That's very, very nicely done here from Zin, who had a rough one in the previous. Now he's looking much, much better here. Top of the scoreboard on this map of Haven. Definitely looking like a Chad here in this game. Happy days for the Filipino side. 12-5 for this Reyna.
And also tying up the score. Now breathing a lot more hope into the entire ZOL squad. I mean, you gotta love how he was like tapping away at that smoke as well. First of all, the opening shot, the lockdown, but everything was red because Hot Sauce was ready to hold out from heaven. So that's kind of the setup that works for them towards the A site. Now they're trying to switch it up though. Zin, once again, getting a little bit proactive outside of B. Has a duel against Vaness. Vaness will peek against him. Has the share, but not quite able to. Boy, he just swings against the shot anyway. What?
Oh my. A little bit overzealous there, potentially. If your Reyna does giveth, your Reyna also does taketh away. And maybe that's an entry point in for Team Secret Academy to try and secure this round, as Eman's stuck on an island here. Very awkward. Does have Hot Sauce there to support, but when Prodigy can peek on in, Eman's going to have to do it all, but he can only get 2. NDG picks up the round and pulls that spike away immediately. They've made the call, and he will be able to find the space. Kevzi does have that from the shadows if he wants to rotate around quickly. Applix has the same, but they're not going to utilize it. They're just going to run together. Brothers in arms, making their way up to C. Dotting their I's, crossing their T's, making sure they do it all together. And yeah, I think you're getting a little bit of a sniff onto that, Quack. Vaness is in position to try and deny this rotate through B.
30 seconds left.
Angle. Will ZOL be the ones to
Oh,
dot their
no!
I's and cross their T's? They do! So now looking a little bit better for them as they work against just Sheriffs on the other side. Bit of a smoke in their way, but the clone just sent out first. Applix just ignores it, gets the opening shot. Kevzi finds a bit of a trade. Down to it now, NDG holding out from Garage. He hears the footsteps, has the utility as well. Sends the recon through, now goes back in, just to toy around with Kevzi.
Oh my god.
Where he is though, and reveals his back towards the edge of the smoke. It's gonna be Kevzi picking up the round for ZOL.
Oh man, this is crazy. I cannot believe the game has shifted this hard. 5 rounds on the trot for ZOL. Back to back to back. They just continue to do it. They only end up with like 1 alive each of these rounds. It's always coming down to the wire. But even in a moment where Zind gives up that opening pick, does the Reyna thing and peaks a little bit too early, they can't convert the round. And it's all starting there with someone like Vaness, who is having a fantastic fracture, to miss a little bit of a sitter. Did spot out the gun barrel of Kevzi and couldn't quite take the frag. And it's Kevzi who ends up getting the 3K and winning out the round. So that's a massive turnaround for him, as he's only just picked up his 4th kill.
Yeah, good on ZOL for being able to hold their own. As the next rounds come in, Kakarot with that operator. He's marching up A, actually, though. Immediately, A crashes off with the drone sound, so reinforcing the C site a little bit better, but Team Secret still looking to aggress through from the back lines. Kakarot will shut that down. Straight back in towards Garage for Team Secret Academy.
Quick scope from the Yoru operator. Very traditional gameplay we're seeing right now, and the peek in towards Garage means that Zin gets his head ripped off. Very, very scary. The dark cover does give some respite, but Kakarot has to get up close. No, he breaks his own clone. Oh, that is so unlucky. Baited there. Hot Sauce does get one back. It's back into this 3-on-3, but I think it's going to be a little bit of an overstep. Hot Sauce! Hot Sauce! Oh, God! No! 19 HP for NDG. Vaness dug so deep, a massive 3K. And Hot Sauce almost blows everyone over. In the end, it will be the side of Team Secret Academy to get a well-needed 5th.
Just such a dicey round. I mean, still holding inside a Garage, then pushing through, finding all these trades. I mean, Team Secret Academy, they have those protocols down pat. But it was down to that final moment where Hot Sauce was just trying to stray for dear life. Unfortunately, though, still having the bullets, that's going to be the end of him. So 5-5 now with the pistols. Pushing up is going to be Zin. Gets the opening one, but thinks a little bit too greedy to pick up the rifle. The entire team still on the other side, and they managed to spam down against Speaker. Emin, though, pushed out all the way from the back of A Long, still taking shots against them. Prodigy will find the wall bang against him, too! Down to a 2-on-3 where, okay, Kakarot has found a rifle.
Once again, there is a reason that APAC Valorant is so damn entertaining. It's because of what you're seeing on your screen right now. But great positioning here from Kakarot, right? The single Vandal in hand. He just has to wait ever so patiently. Because look at this little buddy system that Team Secret Academy have adopted. They've pulled the plug on it now, which means the timing could be phenomenal. But Seeker definitely does seem to be aware of something, right? Kevzy has to cross this line, has to find it. And Kakarot's got to drop Prodigy, so now they very much have to pick up the pace. They have to hope the fault line can actually catch Kevzy here, and it will. Dark cover goes close, but he manages to just get around the dark cover, and now into it. It is going to be the fake out that is destroyed, but whilst they are in the safety of that smoke, and Seeker, massive 3K here, picking up the Rolling Thunder, and a 6th round for Team Secret. It was 5 in a row for ZOL, but the last 2 have gone the way of the Academy side.
No more.
I mean, it's just what a round. You mentioned it, you know, APAC plays, and that's kind of what it is. Just trying to fight fire with fire on both ends. It almost became successful down to the 2-on-2, but with Seeker on the other side, I mean, he just took advantage of the movement and the range that his rifle had. So just being able to spray and spam that through. We go into the last round of the first half. At least the ultimate's online for the side of ZOL, but blades out for Prodigy as well. Just trying to make use of the movement, dancing back and forth. Nothing quite found towards C except for the one player. So they kind of go back in to regroup, thinking to retrieve more information across the other sides of the map.
Spotted out. Has to pull his way away. Getting out of there immediately as he doesn't want to play it for much longer. The old Yoru. Gate crash away. Just creeping on forward now. Prodigy does have all the blades available. Rolling Thunder ready to be utilized. And man, this could actually catch 4 of these players if they are unlucky enough. It should just be the 3 in the end. Yes, it will, but they have to clear out sewers in the exact same Telltale. Kenshal, it's going to be a chaotic battle on towards this site of A right now. Zinda's the first to get one. Make that a second. Does manage to drift away. But it's Kakarot here who strikes whilst the iron is hot. That is a fantastic way to turn this a game. We finally have it on our hands. Back in action now, 6-6. That scoreline completely tied up between these two sides. And I think that's exactly what you guys viewing along on Soup deserve for Challengers SEA. Split number 1 of this year. It's been entertaining already so far. And Quack, all I can question to you is, does this go to a 3rd? Because I cannot tell who the hell is going to win this map of Haven.
I think it very well could, given how, you know, ZOL have been retooling this double duelist composition, especially now that they're on the attacking side. It could fare a lot better, but they are starting things off a little bit slow, feeling that pressure, needing to send this to a 3rd map. Meanwhile, Team Secret Academy still comfortable with their current setup. 3 towards A, 2 inside of Garage. And they're going to need a lot more information to work off of. So the drone already spotted out on the other end, thinking towards the B site.
Indeed, you tagged up.
Academy are in spot.
Yeah. It's a little awkward here. Look at the amount of space that they've actually been able to find through B here. It's going to be under hot sauce to try and find something. Prodigy does get the shot out, so it's traded 4-4. But now they're going to be planting on B, trying to take control of that link towards A. It's going to be chaos again in this 4v4, I reckon.
Romo could be. I do like how Zin is positioning himself, though, all the way towards the other end. Vanessa is playing safe as well, and he does spot out Zin, so back to a bit of an even footing, while Team Secret Academy just tries to hold off towards the other end. They have that smoke from the Afflix. The right click gets sent through. Now it's Evan gunned down off towards the Ghost. They come in with a firing squad on the other side, but Zin Still finding some friends with the zone.
player
Fight getting stuck to at least halfway now. Prodigy gets off just at the right time, but not for the shots against Zind. Low HP, but ZOL still carries themselves across the finishing line.
That's got to be so tilting there. Dropping Kevzy to 20, dropping Zind to 4 HP, getting the dink there. Always frustrating in those moments, not being able to close out the kills. And that's the thing about that Devour, isn't it? You know, it can give you that extra HP to work with. And allowing you to tank that shot from the Ghost. So nicely done from ZOL. But again, it goes down to a very, very close position. And all I can think about right now is how the wheels on the bus is very much just a bunch of Zins on the 4 wheels. Because it's looking good for him. The rest of the team not too far behind. Like, they're certainly not lacking. But I feel like if TSA are able to find a way to punish this Reyna, you know, there might be some opportunity back for them. But it's just an eco for now. They're going to have to take the knee. Do break out the fake out. Now Zin's straight on in there, so he should be able to get his way out, but actually, that's a little awkward. Kakarot does get one back, though, so he's pretty happy. Seeker does get one for his troubles. That should be all she wrote, and the round is clean for ZOL. 3 alive, 8 rounds secured, but still more work to do as they creep into this bonus.
Yeah, that's just kind of all it is for the eco, after all. I mean, having the stack up towards the C site, they did receive that early contact, but ultimately, you know, the rifles do what they do. A little bit awkward, as I think one of the players was trying to pick up the rifle, right? But down to it at the very end, it still, it rings true what you said about Zind. You know, Team Secret Academy definitely do need to disable him somehow, because he's definitely finding a lot of value off of his, you know, kills, 1 or 2 here and there, and he's able to devour or dismiss away. So Team Secret Academy now, back towards a bit more of a default hold, but Applix up on towards elevated positions, as well as Vanessa inside of Garage does provide a little bit more value and spacing. Opening shots against Kakarot.
Ignoring the fake out, getting that open up. Then now really, really awkward. He's actually making his way through the Nano Swarm, gets away with it, does get the Devour back to health as well, but Applix and NDG are there. Able to hold on to the shot is NDG. And now we have to fall away and wait for Prodigy to join the party. Kevzy just taps on, already has 2 kills. Will need to make it 4 if he is going to be successful in this round. Has plenty of time to work with Quack. 55 seconds left on the clock. Another dark cover to go down, but this one towards defender side spawn, towards C-Link, it will fade. And now as the information is gathered, all they need to do is just make sure it's played together. Again, another fake. They are going to get that owl drone out, trying to find some information. And with that scan, maybe they'll have a level of confidence to actually go in here. The fact that he's managed to ditch it out towards long is pretty good, but it's 30 seconds. He's got enough to work with to at least find the site of A, but again, it gives time where surely Team Secret Academy are going to think that this rotation is possible. And yeah, look at it. They're immediately hightailing back towards A now.
So at least he does draw out the recon gathering utility of Team Secret Academy. Which then gives him a little bit more spacing, right? He has From the Shadow, so if he's going to try to get in towards a deeper position, he could. But he's going to save that for an upcoming round. 4 seconds before the next smoke comes up, so he's trying to play around that. He's also thinking that they might be setting up a bit of a flank, though, and that's where he's going to lose a bit of spacing. He just has to play the angles for now, and that's not an easy feat for him. As Team Secret Academy goes in for the body block. He swings, though. And that's going to be the opening shot. NDG already downed. Prodigy up at full HP, but goes in for the fake task. Tries to stick it to halfway now from the shadows for information.
Oh!
He's still sticking.
Gets off
of it at the wrong time. Kelsey gets the shot for the clutch.
Man, imagine just seeing a player fly across your screen, across your crosshair, and it spooks you just enough to pull off that defuse. Very, very well played from Kevzy. As I said, there was one point in time where he had 1 single kill. It was a 3K to bring him up to 4. And ever since then, he has just been marching his way towards the top of the scoreboard, only falling a little bit behind Zind. But that clutch is massive. He's played that to perfection. And unfortunately for Team Secret, it's put them back onto an eco here. They lose the bonus. A massively important round. And ZOL very much seem to be all on the same page. And with Bind around the corner, you know, this is looking like it could very well switch from a Team Secret Academy victory into something different. Somehow Prodigy's still alive. He does go down in the end to Zind. It was a great Leah. Now into position. Vanessa, can he hit the shot? Yes, he can. Information gathered as the Dimensional Drift is there, but he swaps away from that Sheriff, and unfortunately that is enough time with a quick switch to get him taken down. Where does Kakarot end? It looks like he will burst out of that ultimate up on towards the site. Now as that spike gets planted, 3-on-3. Winnable for Team Secret, but very tricky.
Yeah, especially given their current weaponry. Seeker, 2 HP. Don't know if he's going to think about swapping that weapon over. It might make a bit of sound, take a bit of time. Thankfully, though, with the flash out, NDG will be able to push up. Takes down at least one player, but Kakarot holds off towards the back as well. Kevzy in with the off angle, and it's not quite checked. Seeker will fight back. The pop flash from Kakarot sends through, and that's going to be the round. ZOL picked it up.
This man has definitely spent a little bit of time on the basketball court, hasn't he? I thought he was a Super Saiyan. Turns out he's an NBA All-Star. Very nicely found by Kakarot in the end, who also was having a rubbish game in the previous map of Fracture. So yeah, ZOL now very much back here, and again, it just comes down to that little position where we saw a switch away from one of the weapons. The Sheriff, unfortunately, put away, meaning that they couldn't quite capitalize on a couple of these, and all I can say is, you know, Team Secret, it's a perfect time for them to pause and have a conversation, because the lack of experience definitely seems to be getting to them right now. Remember, they had a 13-3 victory in the opening map of Fracture. Absolute domination. And since they picked up the opening 4 rounds, they haven't really had any success here on this map of Haven Quack. So they brought it back to a 6-6 half, right? But with ZOL only 3 rounds away from winning this one and taking it through to buy-in, it can be so emotionally challenging to think about how close you got to stomping this one, and then all of a sudden having to fight back so hard for a rough one, right? You know, having to go into that 3rd map after knowing that you were so close to winning it in a 2-0.
Yeah, at least working alongside Coach RBTX, you know, maybe trying to find some kind of a moment back there. Because right now what they're struggling against is, you know, going for these gunfights against players like Xin. It's just definitely not quite going to happen the way that they want it to in repeated succession, right? So maybe relying on a little bit more tacticality as they go back to the drawing board. So now more Killjoy utility. They don't have the trick, so that's going to be a little bit difficult, but at least they'll be able to receive this B push coming through. Vanessa with the spams takes down Zind, and that's already off to a good start.
Crazy stuff. How long can they hold on to it, though, for Seeker? Able to get that one back. Kakarot also taken, but with that spike planted, they do have the advantageous position, but not for much longer. Hot Sauce and Kevzy will be the only 2 left, and they are playing all the way back here. Very, very passive position inside the window. Paranoia available. That spike is open for them, but as that dark cover comes down, all they need to do is start this body block. Paranoia goes in. NDG tagged up, but Prodigy should be able to stick it all the way down. And a very well-needed round there picked up by Team Secret Academy. Hot Sauce will live into the next, but they separate the rounds now only by 3. Great recovery. And maybe, just maybe, there's still a game on our hands.
Yeah, sure, trying to cook that up. I mean, they are close to their ultimates at the very end of it, but so is Emin. And that could be, you know, a round where it calls towards the alt orbs on the map. And that's why you see players positioned closer towards A long right now. It's going to have to be NDG as well as Prodigy to try to fend off the incoming forces of ZOL.
Gets the scan. So a good bit of information here early. Prodigy just playing deep down towards long. NDG will get a quick spot, but they are seeming like they still want to kind of put the pace down towards this long position. It will bring Prodigy back towards the site. 3 members of Team Secret Academy here, but they just will park it for now, ZOL. They don't want to over-aggress just yet.
Just keeping themselves tucked in for now. Meanwhile, you still have players like Hot Sauce as well as Emin exploring across the map. What I do like, though, is Applix having pushed all the way down C long. He spots that there is no one around the corner. A bit of a tart from Vanessa in towards Garage as well, and that does note a little bit more information. So now starting to think about regrouping across the map, perhaps, while Applix holds his ground. He doesn't hear anything. And that could be a bit of a double-edged sword as well, though, because you're never quite sure if there are players just walking into the sites, right? The turret's already been broken, and Vanessa, he's just stacking up, hoping that the numbers advantage will find its value. I don't know.
30 seconds left.
We're going to give it a go. Fortunately, that fake out will make it very, very awkward for Prodigy. He has to expend the Cloudburst, and Now as the gate crash gets him out of there, they are going to try and reposition, which means it's going to be eyes onto Applix. And are they going to overlook his position? No is the answer. We'll be able to drop that trap wire. And now Zind just so scared of this angle. In the end, it is going to be Applix going down, though. So the Reyna finds it back. That spike will be planted. Now Vanessa having to make his way through Garage. Prodigy, a lot of work to do here, moving out towards spawn, but Vanessa will find the right timing, but unfortunately, it's just left to him to do the heavy lifting, and ZOL will deny completely. It all came down to that duel between Applix and Zind, and unfortunately, it was the Reyna to be superior. And with 2 rounds left, ZOL really lining themselves up to take us through the bind here, Quack, and extend our night, which is kind of, I feel like, what this series deserves, you know, to have it go so one-sided on Fracture 13-3. It just wouldn't have felt right to see ZOL kind of roll over and die, but they haven't. They're fighting back, and they are making it brutal. It's ripping and tearing all across the screen.
You gotta love it, especially with our double duelist composition. Now to the attacking side again. They've managed to find successful trades against Team Secret Academy. And Team Secret Academy, you know, for all their successes now with their current setups, it's getting broken apart. Zind able to scout that out, and he's trying to break some of these early alarm bots, as well as nanoswarms. They get traded off really quickly for a couple of smokes here and there. Drones out towards A as well, and it does call for Team Secret Academy to keep NDG posted up close, continuing to jiggle, but it's going to be very close contact.
Yeah, still awkward. They get that warning shot off. Hot Sauce tagged up a little bit, hurting, but not limping quite yet. He still has the Neural Theft available. Hunter's Fury there for Eman. 45 seconds. Looks like they are going to be ending over towards this side of A as Kakarot tries to split the wickets up towards B. But he just fires the warning shot, giving that information up as to where he is. Prodigy now only with the blades, of course. There is enough weaponry to get them across the line, enough utility, but again, 25 seconds. They're going to have to start moving right now. The Rolling Thunder does force them to bay, but it's going to be Zind to die. Prodigy makes it work, and they do break the fake out, but it's going to be Kakarot to continue fighting. 69 points of HP, but that's all he needs. Now the lockdown, forcing it in. Maybe there's a chance for Vanessa to get something done here, but he's taken down. That spike can still be planted, but Applix, he's looking to find it. 3 seconds. There's no time. And Quack, Team Secret Academy have done it somehow.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no.
He runs out of ammo. Oh, my God. I was waiting for it. Unbelievable. It just is, you know, several of these players holding their own ground. First of all is Kakarot, but then next up to Vanessa. Because he planted that lockdown away, it forces Emin to go off of that hold with the Hunter's Fury, you know, trading ultimate for ultimate. And off of that, Applix is then able to push further in to find these frags, to take down that spike planter. That gives them the round. Next one coming up, and it's a bit of an outlaw buy for Prodigy, given how economy has swung over to the other side. And we'll see how Team Secret Academy is able to hold now. Applix inside of Garage.
It's going to be dicey. Dimensional Drift will be expended, so they are certainly going for this. Thankfully, Applix will be able to hit the shot with the Guardian. Now as they break up, it's going to be on to Zind to see what he can do again. They are out through that dark cover. And now as the blind side is expended, Zind's going to be able to find Vanessa. And now Seeker, only good for one. NDG, though, does drop the spike, and now he can fall away. That little shock bolt did a hell of a lot of big damage. 56 now for Zind. He does have the Phantom, as mentioned as well. Kev's the only with the Guardian. And now as they pick up that spike, NDG very much just has to watch the line. Does have the Recon Bolt available. 45 seconds. And him digging into actually main makes a hell of a lot of sense. But who's going to be careful here? It's going to be Prodigy. He's not aware of this at all. Or is he? Yes, he is. Finding the shots, lining them up. 3 alive. Oh, it's a battle of the weak economies right now, isn't it? ZOL's going to have a bye here. But Team Secrets, they do manage to pick up that Phantom, but yeah, it's not looking fantastic for them either, I don't think.
Yeah, not just quite yet, but you're still seeing these moments where they're able to hold their ground and fight off against ZOL. I mean, just getting a read for how they have been trying to work across the map. A lot of this B-site pressure early on with Zind trying to break some of the utility. And because of that, Applix is able to hold inside a garage. You know, he's thinking able to maybe push out if needed, or to hold given enough time, and he just manages to land that initial one-on-one. Off towards the other sides as well. I mean, the mid-round call to try to fight against the hold from Team Secret Academy outside of A-Link, that's where things really started to fall apart because of how NDG is able to relay off of his teammates. And keep in mind, I mean, that's a round where it's just a Guardian against the weaker economy, but it still works out in favor of them. Now, though, with this timeout coming in, this is where it's a bit of a make or break for ZOL. You know, they get to buy up. If they get the round, it's match point. You know, they get to go off a bit of a win and maybe carry that over into the third map. But if not, like, economy is going to go down in the dumps again, and Team Secret gets to find the win in their sails.
Could be a massive turnaround for them. You know, how tilting would it be if ZOL's basically set themselves up for success and can't close at the end, right? An opener is fantastic, but if you can't wrap it up, well, it's not exactly a good opener, is it? So, positional advantage for Prodigy again, all the way down long. Happy to pull away now. NDG will leave him there and reposition with Seeker accordingly down towards the sewers. So as they clear out that information, info onto the cam, they can destroy that now. They're pretty happy with what they've done, but yeah, Prodigy. Oh my god, that is so bold. Dropping the spike. Big frag onto Emin.
And to hang back. NDG has Hunter's Fury as well, so if they send it towards B, you know, it's quite clear for them. That's why ZOL trying to poke across the C site now. This might be their only option, trying to march up front, but there is quite a bit of utility right underneath their feet. Vaness, as well as Applix, in position to strike.
Information about to be gathered. They don't get baited out by the fake out at all. The layup will be destroyed, and Vanessa is going to be able to strike at the right time. He gets a second. Will it be a third? No, not quite, because Applix will set up himself for success. And now Hot Sauce, he's not going to be able to find anything either, is he? 5 alive for Team Secret off the back of the pause for ZOL. This one is going all the way down to the wire. Surely we can expect a save out of ZOL in this round 2, which means that we should very well be going to 11. This game's living up to the expectation that we kind of hoped it would have. You know, I said Haven plays extremely differently to that of Fracture. And with this being the selection, a common playground for the Filipino sides, yeah, ZOL just back to those sheriffs here.
I wouldn't be surprised if we actually went into overtime as well, Conky. But look at how Prodigy is...
It's happening now.
Prodigy's looking to maximize economy now with the Outlaw as well. Just locks down the sightlines.
Cleared as well. So spotted out very, very quickly. He's happy to tank that, though. Be able to actually manage to slip the net somehow, but look at this damage. Oh, no. Prodigy's going to have to go absolutely nuclear here now, Quack. He's going to destroy the wrong one, but it's the right in the end. Oh, he's still alive somehow. Oh, he does get taken in the end by Hot Sauce and Zin, but Jesus. There was a moment in time where that could have potentially been one of the most incredible plays I've seen. Now Vanessa walking straight towards that dark cover, just on the other side of the cyber cage. He will make his way through. He can't really see a hell of a lot, though. He thinks there's something above him in that position, whether it's the cam or something else, but he now has to clear all of the lines. Zind, I don't know what the hell he's doing there, but it's going to be very, very tricky. He could potentially put down the turret, bait the thing. See what he can do here. He's got to swing in for one, but no. There's too much going through his head there, and yeah, I don't really know how to put that round down, but Sheriff's yeehaw and 12 rounds for ZOL.
Sheriff's yeehaw. Well, that's one way to sum it up, I guess. You know, down to it all, I think it was just Prodigy. He was holding down the lines, but unfortunately it was a little bit too much of a passive angle to hold, and with that, ZOL were able to push in and eliminate that range that he actually had. Off of that, I mean, the entire site, especially the crossfire setup towards the end, really broke things apart. So now, what could be the last round? Team Secret Academy trying to fight back and pull. Back to the 3-stack on the A site, though, and Prodigy has to find something. If not, it's just Vanessa and Applix once again.
Certainly two players that can do it though, Quack, right? They've had a pretty good run, but as Zind is already all the way in, not tagged up. Hunter's Fury misses, but NDG and Atflix, exactly as I mentioned, they make it work. They even deny the From the Shadows as well, can pull away with the Shrouded Step. They're happy to let these two members in Hot Sauce and Kevzy on towards this site right now. NDG will get the tag up, will get that information. And they could just play it nice and slow over the tripwire. Love to see it. Now he can creep his way up long. Should be able to get that information for free. What the hell is happening? He says now Kevzy has to try clutch the 1v4, but Seeker will take it. And what that means, Quack, is that we'll be taking all 24 rounds of regulation and beg for the overtime.
Just very well might be it. Team Secret Academy once again proving that they do have the setups on the C site. This time it was Finesse that fell earlier on, however, but his utility is still kind of buying a little bit more time, especially with NDG's Hunter's Fury going through, and also a little bit of lovely jet tech from Prodigy. We shall see, though, if they keep to this setup in towards the very what could be the very final round of the map, at least in regulation. ZOL calling another timeout. This is one where you're going to worry quite a bit, Conky, because Team Secret Academy, they get to make use of this as well. I wonder if this is when they start to push out to find some kind of an opening pick against ZOL. Might be too risky, though, given the fact that it could be the last round.
You can just see the sweat as well, you know, really, really stressed right now. This game was a very strange one. It started off with what seemed to be a little bit more of a casual agent selection. Definitely not something that, you know, is crazy uncommon or really overly wild. It's not like the Zipto 4 duelist selection. But it's certainly one that begs some question. And then they start off 0-4, and then all of a sudden it turns around very, very quickly. And ZOL looked like they were, you know, heading towards a successful victory, cruising in towards bind. But that hasn't happened. We end up here, 11-12, round number 24. The money's not the best looking for ZOL, so they're going to have to fight hard to try and secure this one and take us to a victory, to a third map. Otherwise, we'll be glaring down overtime. And Vaness, he's going to get his lockdown immediately. Bladestorm there for Prodigy. Oh, it's going to go deep now.
Oh boy, yes it is. And immediately, just a bit more information with that drone. A little bit of added security as well, but they don't see anything, and they just kind of back off completely away from the site. They've left B a little bit open as well, and not much information on the other end. So just back to the smokes, while I think for the first time in quite a number of rounds, it's the Killjoy utility over to the A site. So ZOL not really retrieving too much on the other ends as well. They're expecting some possible push-outs. Vaness with just the alarm bot and turret towards the A site, while his nanostorms are sitting comfortably on the B site. So he's trying to spread their defenses a little bit across. Fault line in as well, and that's the outdoor picked up. But definitely ZOL trying to sneak something through into its A short.
NDG gathering some early information, forcing Kakarot back. I remind you all that, you know, there's just a couple of stingers and a sheriff in this round, so it's going to be ZOL having to fight hard as anything. Kevzy and Zind have been the ones to do lots of work in these previous rounds, and Prodigy very much sitting on this line. They are going to pop the owl drone in, so it's not exactly the weapons you want to have in the form of those Bladestorms. So they'll just leave it for now. Let it happen. Seeker to pick up and destroy it. Now as they set their sights back over towards A, the rotation has been pulled away. There is some utility there. And obviously the lockdown is available for Vaness, so it just depends on how they want to approach this one. But it looks like, again, we'll probably be dealing with that 5-on-5 on the retake here.
Lockdown, he's going for it. We've got NGG around the sides as well, and he should have lineups for the site. We've got to think about the angles that Prodigy and Seeker will kind of set up.
30 seconds
looking
left.
for it at least, and to set up for a strong retake. But one key player that they haven't quite yet spotted is Hot Sauce towards the back of B. Going in through now. Dimensional Drift from Kakarot. Seeker trying to hold down the line.
Hot Sauce.
Oh man, shot out from the back. Bit of a flash as well on the other end of the smoke. They just push all the way through. Prodigy in with the plates, hopping over, but no right click found against Kenzie. And there's the shot in from Seeker. Spike still getting stuck all the way through, though, inside of the smoke, and we are going to overtime.
I said you jinxed it, Kentrell. The second I hear that word of overtime, it is guaranteed, or in the words of Ray Ray, overtime. We are here as we move into 12-12 territory, and all I can say is I don't know where the hell it's going to be going as we shift it across. We will see the sides swap now, but obviously it's sudden death 1-1. Both these teams will have to put in everything that they have to try and close 2 rounds consecutive. And all I can say is over the last few rounds, it's very much been Team Secret Academy, right? You know, they've won 5 of the last 6. And ZOL, you know, they were looking dominant for a while, but it's started to fall off a little bit, and that's how Team Secret Academy got their way back into this game. So let's see how quickly they're going to approach it. Looks like they are going to be straight in towards A main. Again, the fault line should very well catch. And Applix, now he wants to fight this alongside the 2 players. Kakarot is going to have to cruise out. Gatecrashers away. And now that gives some free reign for them to walk up towards this A position. And Eman's alone on an island.
He's backing off to set up for that retake, though. You do have that double duelist, so just peppering the site with these flashes and to allow Zin to get into a position. Yes, that could be the trick. Kakarot already towards the back. And there's a spot where Zin could send in a bit of a leer. He does try to get in a little bit more space to get that spam ahead towards Prodigy where he dashed in. So that's already Team Secret Academy pinched down inside of A long.
Kakarot
has the angles and he sprays out the back. The spike has been dropped.
That's crazy. The fake out to keep him alive and also to find the frag. You know, this is a way where Team Secret Academy started the round by finding Eman wallbang up in heaven. Now they do have the spike, but Kakarot's got them locked down. Vaness gets one, but he's taken down to 7. Zin peeks in, and now it's all on to NDG. Where's he going to peek to? Can he get onto this line? He cannot. It will be Hot Sauce to close it. A nail into the coffin. ZOL finds 13.
Switching sides.
It was a bit of an interesting one there. Team Secret find the opening, but that flank in from Kakarot did absolutely everything for them. They just couldn't react in time. They panicked, and immediately a shift in approach and dynamic, and ZOL overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's also the fact that you're working on a killjoy as well. I mean, if it had been the trip instead, you know, things could have been maybe sussed out a little bit earlier, but because of the turret, you know, Kakarot gets to kind of play around the angles a little. So it's always tough, but we are down towards what could be the final round as well. ZOL able to find a lot of these opening moments against them. Still, though, on towards their attacking side, this is where they start to struggle towards the end. Team Secret, they still have that same 3-2 setup across the A and the C site.
Patience is a virtue. Allowing that control to be found. They're going to have to invest a little bit to try flush him out of this Sua's position. And they actually walk away. They are watching it. A little bit of a back and forth system. The defenses accordingly, but that rotation is there. Timing could be everything here. NDG, he's gone all the way through. Hot Sauce has found everything for free. Can they invest anything back? Are they going to be ready for it? The answer is no, but he is traded. So that pulls the plug on this offense towards A, but it puts everyone on Team Secret Academy on the back foot. Where are they going to go here? They've got no utility sets down. They're just so nervous, so hesitant here. And now with the dark covers going up, it's got to be onto Applix. What can he do here? Zin, shoulder steps, it gets the shot. And now the advantage going the way back of ZOL. They only have 3 members of Team Secret Academy between them and a map 3. And they got to fall all the way back towards long. 4 long may not always work, so we'll have to see how they go here.
It's gonna be dicey. The utility not quite on the side of Team Secret Academy, though. It's just the breach. So I do wonder if Seeker's gonna be able to find his value. Vaness tries to get into a forward position, but the shot's not found. And that could be it. ZOL now starting to peek out. They get the shot against Prodigy, and then the next against Seeker. They will end this out in overtime and push us to a map 3.
Post-plant lineups and things like that. But yeah, look, it's all going to come down to the Thunderdome right now. ZOL and Team Secret. Filipino pride is being thrown out loudly here in the server tonight. And all I can hope for is another hot game, because if we're going to go 3 maps, we may as well have a good series. Let's see what we've got in store for us now.
For sure. I mean, definitely looking to end this with a bit of a banger. This composition, I can't quite put my finger on it. I feel like I've seen it in Pacific somewhere before from ZOL. And the one key theme that you're seeing is that every agent in that kit, you know, they all have some kind of damage dealing or explosive utility there. So it's
Yep.
always the grenades, and there's always a little bit of synergy. So that can definitely be quite the artillery strike against Team Secret Academy, even if they are get their foot. As with everything, though, just needing a little bit more information before they're able to hit. They're spotting out the fade, as well as some of the other players now. They have to be a little bit cautious around the corners as Mateo starts to swing out with the salvos. Initial shots out, and ZOL wins the trade.
Great opening there. Gonna be slowed down just a little bit by the sonic sensors. Or is it the grav net? Whatever happens. Didn't quite see, but as they reposition now, ZOL happy to move forward in towards the garden. Isolating that position. Vanessa is going to be able to take point in the showers. Just all on to Zind, holding from that position. And again, a very, very different agent, right? From the Duelist back to the Viper. So the solo play, is it going to be good enough? Because if they do find this pick, they do find the plan, it's going to be a massive rotate that they need to expend here through, potentially through the teleporter into the shower. But if TS can lock into the post plan right now, it could be a toughie.
They called back for Zin to set up for that Viper wall, but there we go. Straight into the site, maybe to start things off with Kenzie, setting up for the Haunt.
Oh.
Applix, though, straight in through the bomb.
Player
Not
standing.
against Zin. And they didn't kick out, we'll be able to shoot and flood out from the back of showers, though, and that will be the round.
Incredible start there as well. You know, that was a great clear from Applix, but it all started with that push in towards long, right? You know, where they got control of the garden onto the other side of the Viper screen. And it's great success to open up here from ZOL. You know, as I said, I think emotionally, Team Secret Academy might be hurting a little bit. And if ZOL have that momentum, it is a defender-sided map still, right? You know, Bind as, whilst the map itself has changed and, you know, the way that the site works, obviously we've had changes to the map, namely around the teleporters outside showers and the like. But overall, it still plays very similar to the way it has since the inception of this game. And even though sometimes we see attackers' side a little bit more buffed, you know, it's still defenders' sided very much so with these little narrow angles and the capacity to lock down. So Kevzy just shouldering it out, get some info down towards B long. And with the rest of the space found around, Vanessa, you know, chilling, seeing if there's any mid-lurk. Applix trying to walk his way in towards Hookah, but Zin's already there to deny. So all locked in for ZOL.
Oh, but they will relegate the alt orb, though, so that could come into hand with some of the future rounds, but at least still, yep, Zind able to delay and stall with all of his utility. The Snake Bite, Viper Wall, and then on towards the other end. They're just trying to hold into some comfortable positions with the weaponry that they have. At least to set up in case Team Secret decides to push off a bit of a combo with the speed as well as the salvo, and it will tag a couple of these players down to low HP, but Pepsi, even with the spams, still finds at least one frag. Off to the other angle, Emin finds yet another, and trying to burst on through with the Spectre, not quite finding its range. Ness will look for an angle outside of
30 seconds left.
Toxic Screen's going to keep it at
One
25
enemy remaining.
seconds. Zind is going to
Spike
get the
down,
clear.
B.
Trailblazer making it a little bit awkward there. And as Emin finds a third, it's a nice round. Applix denied. 2-0. 5 alive. Pretty happy looking bonus that they're going to be walking their way into now. Team Secret going to have to fully invest and give it their all into this one with those Vandals. And if ZOL can find this, that would very much set themselves up for success and an early boost moving into the start of Bind here. It seems very much like the tune of this game has been the Fracture preparation. Clearly very, very good. Less so for ZOL. But, you know, when we go back to the OGs of Haven and Bind, you know, you've got to be able to fight the fight. You've got to have that deep map pool with plenty of capacity. And whilst Team Secret Academy definitely do have plans of attack, it's just that ZOL's experience is seeming to reign supreme a little bit here. But now as they try to walk their way in, special deliveries there, and Seeker does get the shot through. Guided salvos to try and give some additional time, but that's a great advantage already found by TSA.
Maybe trying to use that to clear out a little bit more space and push in towards the A site. They do have Applix watching the other angle towards short. Oh, but a quick peek from Hot Sauce eliminates that immediately. It's going to be Vanessa to try to refill a bit more of that space, trying to make some mid-round decisions with the spike headed over maybe towards Market. They're thinking if someone might be hiding towards Cubby as well, so calling in for the check. They find Emin, and that very well will be numbers advantage for the side of TSA. Hot Sauce to try to delay.
You play with a Sambal, and sometimes you might have an upset tummy. And this man looking to try and get in towards position right now. Great line. Prodigy will deny. Man can handle his spice. The Seeker also pushes forward onto Kevzy Zin. Don't think he's going to have a hell of a lot here. He does at least get one. Now just crossing onto that line. They all should secure the frag together. And it will be Seeker to drop him down on that deadlock. 3 kills for Seeker. Great opening gun round here for Team Secret Academy. And with 3 alive, it's a pretty happy position to be found in with those Vandals. But of course, now this is going to be the first gun round and the one that we need to take the most seriously, as is tradition, into the 4th round of the map.
Oh, and as serious as it is, Kakarot pulls out the big gun of the operator.
Oh, yeah.
Looking to at least lock some sightlines down outside of Bats. Still, though, I mean, Bats just looking to reinforce what was here in the previous round. Don't know if it's going to come into full effect just yet. Salvo's already deployed. But yeah, I mean, look at Team Secret Academy. They know to be wary of this position. So not quite taking the long angle instead and pushing closer in. But quick flicks from Kakarot. And that's going to let them know that you don't want to mess too much inside of Bat.
The onsen is meant to be a quiet place. Kakarot is certainly making a hell of a scene. Down. It's going to make it a little bit awkward. Somehow still alive, though. Kakarot very, very lucky to be holding on. Eman up very close on the other side of the sky, so we want to try and fight this onto Seeker. It's a great guiding light that gets him out, forcing back Eman towards the side. That's now in position as well. They will throw out the guidance salvos. Eman gets 1 and 2, making a 3rd. Eman looking fantastic. Oh, the Tejo. Beautiful stuff from the Colombian King. Nicely found there from ZOL.
And that's the entire round already. He just held on to that utility, and that's what this composition is all about. You get the information, you figure out where they're headed, and as soon as they try to get that spike down, every little piece of explosive shells and toxins all get sent into where the spike would be planted. It forces them to disperse, and Eman knows exactly how to pick his targets off when they are all lined up for him like that. So 3-1, economy now not on the side of TSA, and they're looking to march on forward in towards Hookah, a spot where they haven't quite explored yet. They will be in for a rude awakening though, with Zind watching the angle.
Gotta be careful though. How many times have we seen these Vandals go up against a handful of pistols and unfortunately fall right away? Thankfully though, he does have Kevzy there to support, but Zind, yeah, will be slowed down a little bit from that grab net. A bit awkward, but Kakarot, play pigeon, 2-4. The H also looking pretty good too. Really happy to get 2. 1 through the boxes, and with Vanessa just being all on his lonesome, there's really not a hell of a lot you can do except for try and fight. Kevzy finds another, and that's going to be 4 rounds now secured for ZOL. Happy days. They are looking clean with it now.
Especially on these rounds, like the rounds where they are good, they are really good. You can just see exactly how they go in for that like bait and switch setup. You have the C's, they pull on that threat, they find the player hiding behind the little box. It's things like that where Team Secret walks into their traps. But now that they found that out, what is the adjustment going to be? Team Secret Academy, of course, you know, they have some options in their toolkit, I should say. You know, the Boombot or maybe the Trailblazer to clear out inside of Hookah. They're actually going to opt for a full V-long, and that's where they meet Kevzy off to the other end, still holding the angle. Immediately in for support. Hot Sauce has the incendiary as well.
Same time with that showstopper pull. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to do a hell of a lot as Hot Sauce. Plenty of lineup opportunities there. Nicely done from big man Brimmy as Vanessa just has to waltz up long totally solo. Shia will get some information, sure, but it doesn't really get a chance to do a hell of a lot. Just hoping potentially for the ace here as now the stealth drone does come in, gives away the information. They're trying to give it to him, aren't they? And he will look for it. Special delivery will catch. And whilst Vanessa finds Emin, the delivery is certainly in the form of hot sauce. And I love a little bit of a spicy chicken wing interview, which we've just seen here in the form of an ace.
You know, speaking of hot sauce, I just, for the first time... Oh my
Let's
God.
go, boys!
He pops up!
Let's go, boys! I
That
agree.
shocked me. Yeah, you have to pop off with a round like that. Oh, and to try to cool it off. Okay. Bit of a timeout from the coach of TSA, RBTX, trying to rally up his own boys. Still, though, yeah.
I'm going to be real with you right now, Quack.
What's up?
I don't see Team Secret Academy coming back from this. Purely on the basis that a team like ZOL that can be so heavily momentum driven and a team like Team Secret Academy who do seem to be relatively chipper, right? There's some smiles there, it looks like, but I think also they are going to struggle emotionally, right? To keep their focus. They don't have that experience to fight the lengthy battles.
Yeah.
But I am also interested in something, which is your hot sauce experience that was cut off.
For the first time ever, I tried Tapatio. I had no idea what that was.
Yes,
I only knew of
okay.
Tabasco. So
Yep.
there it is. You know, it's still just as spicy. It's got a good.
How'd you
kick to
go?
it.
Because how do you go with spice, right? Like, obviously, Singapore, plenty of hot food
good.
there, but you can avoid it, is what I noticed.
Yeah, but it's definitely enjoyable for sure. As is this very current matchup between these two Filipino teams. But still, once again, you have those setups, and like you mentioned, right? Although the timeout was called in to kind of cool off the boys, it's still not quite working out just yet. The economy not there, and they just full send it into a splash. Emin able to pick them off outside of showers.
Yeah.
Now looking for the angle inside. Once again, all that artillery rains in and pushes them out of position. The shorty kill up against Aplix, and now just Prodigy.
I suppose, you know, you can't really overthink this round, given that it is just the pistols, but again, just the way they're playing it, it's the level of confidence that Kakarot's got. And, yeah, I don't know, I've been testing my spice tolerance over the years. I had Heidelao for the first time Hot Pot, which was pretty cool over in Shanghai. And we did have the spicy. The thing is with, like, Sichuan spice,
it's different,
it, like, it coats your mouth, right?
It's
I'm
the
used to that,
numbness.
like, immediate hit as opposed to the I'm gonna like make you feel bad for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, like the long duration.
Yeah, it lingers, it really hangs around, but it was awesome. I did enjoy it. It upset Mac's tummy, which was very funny the next day. But yeah, I've been getting there. I've been getting there for this Aussie boy when normally the hottest sauce we have on the shelf is ketchup.
That's not even spicy.
Exactly.
All right. Oh, you gotta love it. But still, I mean, just as it is damage over time, it's that Viper damage over time as well. Now, ZOL trying to keep them interested in with that Showstopper 2. The teleporter play over on the other end. He's kind of backed himself into a bit of a corner, Kakarot.
Yeah. This is awkward. He's already thrown out the Showstopper, and now he's trapped in there with his shorty. And they've got all of that information. I think he's actually managed to boogie out, so not bad at all. Now Zin's got the rotation around. This game is chaotic. Like, there's no other way to really put it. Kakarot peeking a little bit too deep there. Kevzy, though, does manage to get one back, and now they teleport through. Got a single member here. Zin's actually obviously given up the position. Seeker does drop Kevzy. Great shot. Now they've got to be careful. The Seeker's coming that way. The grab there does actually catch, I think. Yes, it does, but Zin, he can find it. Doesn't need his legs in a round like that, just needs to be able to shoot. Now it's back up to a 3-on-3, but the guided salvos even do deny the spike plant. So they're playing this very, very well. 20 seconds now, NDG is going to be able to find it, but that should give enough time for the retake, and that is a gnarly little snake bite to land straight on. Not early enough, unfortunately, but this is going to be a crazy fight in spawn.
Okay. Well, at least, you know, Team Secret Academy, they are sitting on a couple of useful ultimates. Orbital Strike as well as Steel Garden from the Vise and Vinesse. There's a lot of these. And he deploys it preemptively. I don't know how I feel about that one, but you know, he's trying to buy a bit more time away from that retake. However, ZOL, they're happy to bait these ultimates away from TSA, so just burning them into the ground, it doesn't quite matter too much, and it still will be Zin trying to pick up whatever kills he can for his ult. Still going in for the hunt, maybe through the teleport, not quite. Spike will go off. TSA picks up the round, but ZOL, you know, it doesn't bother him too much.
Massively important round there for Team Secret Academy, right? You know, still 4 the difference. They've got a lot of work to do. We can't really think about it too hard, given the fact that it is a defenders-sided map. And, you know, if they give themselves enough of a buffer, I would say 4 rounds would be respectable enough of a position. But ZOL, they're going to try capitalize. They're going to take the time out nice and early, iron out any kinks, have a bit of a discussion, work out what's happening. Because I think they did go into that round a little bit overconfident, right? They had some positioning. Kakarot then got stuck inside the teleporter. He did try to get out, but then trying to make a play through the sky smoke. You know, he had a rubbish start on Fracture, as we all remember. But he's looked so much better here in these last 2 maps. Fantastic on that Yoru on Haven. Even better now, looking strong on the Raze here. But it's about keeping focus, about remaining composed and doing what you can into a map like this. So they've got the advantage. They've only dropped 2 so far, but it's about putting one foot in front of the other and journeying towards a close of this, because this series could very well determine their position in playoffs later on in, you know, only a few days' time, right? There's only a couple days left of competition for the group stages, and then we'll get to find out who's going to be getting the majority share of those points here towards Ascension later on in the year.
Very much so. Keeping composed is absolutely right, Conky. I mean, that's why we saw Kakarot kind of backing himself into that corner. We don't want to see too many moments like that, because I think that's kind of what, towards the end, leaked open the B site for TSA. And I think, I do believe that's what the coach, JCL, was discussing with them. You know, not wanting to alleviate control over the sites, keep everyone tucked in. You do have that Viper wall to work off of on this site, as well as Kezi with all of his Prowler and especially that C's to possibly delay as well. So trying to work around it. But we get all the in for the shot outside of Hookah. Has to come back in to refill. A bit of an early annihilation already set through as well.
Exactly right. Annihilation finds nothing. Barrier mesh will go down to give some additional time, as is per usual, towards Spawn. Prodigy just trying to lock something down. Hot Sauce does get one onto Seeker. That will be the deadlock dropped, but it's Zin's positioning that we've got to keep a firm eye on. He's been so good on this flank. And Kakarot also in position, but exactly not the most favored weapon. The paint shells will go in, trying to force them on towards the line here. They're so scared to move out of the tube. And they're just basically relying right now on Applic's position around elbow. But look at Emin. He can just fall away. Doesn't need to try fighting. They're just buying down the time. 20 seconds. They swing together. Kakarot will be taken. Zin caught sleeping there, unfortunately. Not able to really do a hell of a lot right now, because in this position, the guidance salvos actually forces NDG out. Great utility again from this Teho. They have waited way too long. Now Applix has to try and get the spike plant. The special delivery does find it. Can look to stick the plant, but he runs out of time. And it's so damn close, but Zin can close the round for ZOL. I thought that was Team Secrets all over, but they just panic.
I mean, how could you not? All the salvos, all the bit by bit, even though they have the site once again. It's just so playing this composition so darn well. Emin staying alive. He was waiting for his utility to come back up, picking his moments to really send them through. It's not just the salvos, it's the special delivery as well. And also for Zin to really just buy this time, you know, staying alive as long as possible. Back in towards Hookah, now he's been noted. And they are trying to push him off of his spot. He does have the Viper's Pit, though, so maybe keeping an eye on that for the future rounds. TSA right now, you know, just the Sheriffs trying to find some picks. A little bit of space already, but nothing noted just yet.
It's just crazy how pesky this Teho utility is, right? You know, we've only had him in the pool for a little while, and only at the start of this year. And it's just been very entertaining to watch. You know, the fact that those guided salvos can deny a spike plant twice in just such a short succession. And now Hot Sauce will go in for an early pick. He does get traded out quickly, however. Now it settles back to a 4 versus 4. They're running up short, trying to get it all together. But with these weakened weapons, they're going to have to potentially rely on Prodigy again, who does have the showstopper. But for now, he's just going to try flush them out with the paint shells. We have seen him go down without shooting that ultimate
Spike
before.
planted.
But as that spike now is planted, they're going to creep their way back in. And look at this space that Zol's been able to find so far, Quack.
A little bit through the teleporter. Maybe a bit of spot where Zin could deploy the Viper's Pit, but look at how Seeker is threading the needle. Has the angle right outside of Lamps, and he's still able to get that through. Now off to it, just 2 players left alive. A good opportunity for Prodigy to drop the showstopper. Spites in getting the kill, sends it right through, and down to the 1-on-1. NDG will get the final shot in. Team Secret Academy off a thrifty win.
Man, they do manage to pull these rounds out of nowhere sometimes, do they? Team Secret managing to get in towards Elbow, finding that Vandal, getting a couple of great shots out from Seeker. Very nicely found in the round there. They did really, really well to flush out Applix with those guided salvos, but unfortunately NDG's position up short was powerful. He did get a little bit unlucky, but manages to thread the needle in the end, securing the bag. 7-3. And as I said, Quack, 4 rounds made this still a prospect for me for Team Secret Academy. So we're going to see Zol adopt a different approach. It's just going to be the Viper's Pit straight down short. Try and shake things up here. And Kakarot, how the... Straight down mid? Okay.
Bit of a wallbang as well.
Yeah.
All right. Taken down. Hot Sauce noting the positions now. He's feeling the heat. Wants to go in for the peaks. He will get away with one. And then the mollies to come through. Really, really puts up a huge roadblock. Oh, and the Sky Smoke against TSA. You might just have to either try to walk through on the flashes or hang back, but they will go off the top flash. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work. Straight in, Spider. Applix into the other end. Will take that Sin. Opens up the site, but now it's a 1-on-4.
Special delivery will catch, but Emon's lucky to be alive. Molotov makes it a little bit awkward. The Seas will catch as well, but he can just burn this one out for now. 30 seconds. And then they've got a hell of a lot of utility, and they just make it so awkward. Stealth Drone will get the info. Kakarot will get the close of the round. And Zol, they've found 8. As I said, for Team Secret, for me to be convinced, I need to see them find one more round. But right now, it looks like we might be staring down the barrel of that 9-3 cursed scoreline.
30 seconds left.
But man, I just need to give a credit to Emin. He has been playing fantastic on this Tejo. Such an impactful member. He's getting kills, 12 and 6. And then, you know, to have the rest of the team, Kevzy hasn't even needed to do a hell of a lot. But he is at least putting in that utility as the fade, getting the info where it's necessary. And now they walk in Team Secret Academy with a weaker looking buy already. The guided salvos keeping Vanessa in the position that they need him.
Got your trail.
Kakarot's going to go all the way through showers to find the info. It's a quick hit on towards the site, though. Ooh.
Alright. A little bit off on the movement and accuracy, but for now, still good. Being able to hold down Bats is going to be really useful then. We do have the boom button and the paint shells, and there it is. Oh! Catches Applix on his exit. Showstopper
vulnerability
out for Kakarot. He's looking for his opponents right now. We'll be able to find at least one, but cut out of position as well. A bit of a trade there. Emmett picks it up. Vanessa now, inside of Bass, looking to re-clear. Finally spotted out at the end, but he's still in with 2. Kevzy on towards the other end. Will for the honor of the shots into the site, but Hot Sauce marks the angle inside of Bass, and that is going to be the round for Zol.
Incredible stuff from Zol. 9-3 curse scoreline. As we mentioned, strong start, but is Team Secret going to be able to work with 3? Immediately back into the action here. 9-3 again is the scoreline. Zol only need 4 rounds to close out this map of Bind, to close out this series with a reverse sweep 2-1, Quack. But Team Secret Academy, if they get a pistol, as I said, maybe I'll start believing. But for now, I'm all on the Zol train. What our predictions lined up to be. And will they be able to continue our trend of being 2-0s on our predictions for the evening, or will Team Secret Academy fight back?
Well, that is the question, isn't it? You really would start to wonder, given how the map has been going, but as the composition swaps over onto the attacking side, a little bit of pop damage popped through to Zint as well as Finesse. Both teams just getting a feel for the map right now, especially with this Vice lock showing off its effectiveness. It really stalls and delays a lot. Enough for rotations to come over just in time.
Cruising on in. Trying to take point now. 4 members here of Team Secret Academy. Surely, with their setup, they'll be able to sniff out some success here in this round. A little bit of utility ready to be thrown out. Gravnet is there. They will actually send it in. This could be huge with the paint shells. Only does just chip damage away. Kakarot finding the opening with paint shells of his own. Hot Sauce getting one. I said, Kentrell, I needed to see Team Secret Academy win this pistol round with 4 here to defend and not a single kill found. Well, Vanessa, I'm gonna need to see some finesse if any chance of securing this one is coming on through. We haven't seen any of those big 1v4, 1v5s to come on through. It's a nice start onto Kakarot, who he's been pretty keen, so trying to find one would be nice. Arc Rose is available if he wants to try and use it, but again, they just have every single line. Emman overstepping, but it's a tag. It's okay. It makes it a little bit too hard here for Vanessa. And even if he does end up finding the kills, at the end of the day, he's not going to be able to find the round. So 10 on the board here for ZOL. They're only going to need 3 more to close. I mean, look, damage is good, but he's going to go down in the end anyway. Hot Sauce is in to live on. Great opening here for ZOL.
It does make me feel a little bit worried. ZOL starting to give him the one-on-ones, but yeah, still the round, so all good for now. But that's it. Because of these kills, Vanessa is good.
One enemy remaining.
So that's something to keep in mind. But speaking of kills, you know, you have the round starting off with Kakarot and the rest of the team able to gather bits of intel to work their way in towards angles. And being able to find those shots from bats really says quite a bit for ZOL. Now the buy's coming through, and TSA forcing with the Stingers. They're going to hold in with a 4-stack on the A site.
Scout destroyed.
Straight on in there.
Satchel out.
A little bit of a trade of information. But again, you know, this force in so much in for Team Secret. Man, again, just what a change of events it would be, right? You know, Fracture 13-3, Bind 3-13. It's looking like it's a possibility right now.
Really triumphant one for ZOL if they're able to complete the heroic tale. But for now, still trying to set up. They're really looking to bait out a lot of the initial utility from TSA, especially the Gravnet and such.
Salvo's out. Gravnet down. Realistically, they should be able to find free reign towards this side here. A couple of warning shots to come on out. That satchel actually did make it a little bit awkward. There was a bit of decay to come through there from the Seas too. Now inside the Sky Smoke. Oh man, Kakarot, you do like to play with fire, don't you, my friend? So much damage dealt. Prodigy, Afflex, Seeker, all very low. So they have to keep on pushing in towards Showers to try and fight this fight. Kevzy is going to be able to deny them. NDG's had to call the audible. Get the hell out of there. Prodigy very, very low as well. He'll be taken down by Zind, who picks up 2 discos here. Again, they can just throw on down these salvos, keeping them off, doing the damage. Emman denies again, and he is my GOAT in this game right now. 11 picked up for ZOL. 2 more to go. They have broken the economics of Team Secret Academy again, and oh man, I think in this position, you just have to keep on forcing, don't you?
That's pretty much it. And what a scuffed situation to be in, huh? Showstopper at the ready for Kakarot as well, and okay, a bit of a last-ditch effort with the timeout now, trying to find whatever they can get. Because once again, it's just the composition a little bit too impressive once the spike gets planted. Kakarot, you know, I'll give it to him. I think he was thinking that, I mean, he had no idea that they were on stingers. But down to it all, you know, it's enough information for the entire team to then get some sprays through the smokes or to find the right timings to send their mollies, the salvos, and everything that they've got. Right now, though, at the very least, as the round starts out, we can see that TSA are starting to feel the pressure. They relegate a lot of space, especially up towards baths, maybe a little bit of A short as well. And ZOL are happy to exploit a lot of it. I won't be surprised if ZOL just goes in for a bit of a full send in towards the B site next. And it's one where TSA are definitely going to have to try to anticipate and to be prepared for it. But taking a look at the minimap, it doesn't appear to be that way. Oh my god, Conky.
Yeah, they're just going to go balls to the wall, aren't they? And as I was just thinking to myself there, as RBTX, what do you even say to try and pump up the crew? You know, just say we're living in the moment, trying to get that experience. Kakarot, as he does get out with the showstopper, NDG just basically has to sit inside the sky smokes, and he's going to get flushed out by the paint shells. It's awkward, he's on the line. Taeho in, he tries to do some further damage. It's okay for now. Guiding Light actually available. He could pop through. They could try and make this work now. Spike, though, plants it, makes it awkward. Prodigy trying to clear in towards this position, but the grab net is good. It actually connects onto the teammate. A little bit of awkwardness there. Kakarot gets another from the elbow, pushing forward. Hot Sauce with another. Seeker gets to try the frag back, but Kakarot could just hold this line. He can continue to tap, and now all we need to see is Zind be the hero. The Sky Smoke will fade. Apex has got it to half, and he swings on in, and Zind will close. Another big round from the Viper. The snake will bite down and inject its venom into you. 12 secured. Map, series, and reverse sweep point here for ZOL.
And this is where it is. Really start to feel the snake's tail coil around and constrict you towards your very end. TSA looking for the antidote now. And it's gonna be the 4 Guardians, 1 Vandal, light shields all across. Trying to fight for it. Straight in through A short, they peek out.
Dropped.
Ooh! Starts off with a pick.
An important one at that, right? Just a single step, 1 foot in front of the other, trying to make this comeback work. But again, as they are going to destroy that barrier mesh quickly, don't be overly interested there. It does get destroyed now, but they think better of it. They're not overly interested at this point in time. Right now, it's just NDG checking over towards the teleporter as he sniffs out from hookah. But, you know, ZOL don't need to be overzealous. They can just hang back for a second, relax for a little bit longer.
Scout destroyed.
I do have
Locating targets.
9 or 8 chances to really close out the map right now, just trying to suss things out. So, starting to read the propensity for some of the TSA players to push out, noting at least 1 inside of hookah as well. They are happy to continue to slice the pie, slice the angles, to find a pick back against TSA.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds now. Damage dealt, but that's going to be that spike dropped. Massive pick as Seeker also finds Kakarot. 22 seconds. They're going to have to pick up the pace. No more walking, guys. It's time to get running. Time to put those feet down. And as the Stim Beacon goes on up, they have to clear NDG if he sits here for too much longer. But I think they're actually not going to even go for it here, are they? They're just going to try and save these weapons into the next round. It's a interestingly found moment here for Team Secret. Seeker will drop Hot Sauce, and I think NDG actually didn't go down before the timer either, so that's okay. 4 rounds secured by Team Secret Academy. They are going to have another buy here, ZOL, so it's A-okay. But yeah, that was a very odd one. They seem to be a bit hesitant there, maybe. Not quite sure.
Like they, I don't know. I'm not even entirely sure how to explain it. Like, they lost a player and they start to feel as though, okay, maybe this isn't the round. They tried to go for some picks, but once those numbers started to dwindle, it's quite evident that you don't have the call for the rest of the round. And they were running out of time as well, you know, taking so much time to kind of work around the angle. So just up for the next round where they're going to go in with a bit of a half buy as well, build up some of the advantages, the ultimates for the upcoming rounds, right? Secret Academy, though, happy to try to work as much of their advantages as well. So holding the angles now, finding their picks. Vaness out points in towards his pockets, but ZOL still fighting for it. 2-on-3 is not impossible.
Definitely not. Look at how far Kakarot is going forward. I mean, it's pretty bold and brazen. And he's just a bit hesitant about planning that spike. It will be a little bit more open, given Kevzy's position. Does have the Guardian. Information off the back of the Haunt. Will spot out NDG. Seekers as well. That's a bit of an investment as well to try and continue this round. The Caesar's actually going to catch the Trailblazer and NDG. And now they can just focus on this swing. They're going to come around the corner. It's only damage dealt onto one. And it has to be Kakarot to try and close alongside Kevzy. But it will be Aplix who does get it back. A 5th round for Team Secret Academy. They just continue to delay what feels like the inevitable here. But that was only a partial buy-in from ZOL. They're going to fully invest here into this one. I like that respect that's been given. You know, they don't want to throw all their eggs into one basket. They want to just make sure that they 100% each round and close out this game as quickly as possible. But they're happy to forego a round in doing so by saving accordingly.
Still, though, as they continue to try to mount that effort, Team Secret Academy get to do similar. You know, they're sitting on some of these ultimates, which could very well work against what ZOL has as well. Still, you definitely want to be cautious. Showstopper and almost everything else online for ZOL as well. So trying to take advantage of that as much as possible. They keep themselves inside of showers, looking to clear out Hookah, noting that it was one player up in this spot from before. Aplix, though, right around the corner as well, so they're gonna stay cautious. Seeker finds a kill outside of Baths, though, and that's a bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah, Seeker's had some really big impact over these last few rounds. Annihilation available as well. Obviously, the Steel Garden still is there for Vaness. Prodigy one away from the showstopper too. NDG had to burn the Seekers into that previous round to just buy enough time for the team. So Kakarot's position all the way up. There is a sonic sensor there on towards that site, which could cause some issues, but Kevzy up very, very close as well. NDG, Seeker just around the bend. All available too, and it's going to be popped, so Seeker has to try and get in there early. The Prowler does catch, but Kakarot forces Seeker into submission. Will take him. And now Vaness, does he actually want to engage with this one? It's going to get a little bit awkward, but that Steel Garden will jam the primary. They don't really mind too much, though, as now they get that spike planted. The Steel Garden not really doing a hell of a lot. Prodigy gets one back, but it's a 4-on-3. Still doable here for Zolquack.
We're trying to hold. A bit of an Armageddon being sent through as well as Evan tries to fend off his incoming opponents. Still, though, out with a showstopper. And this is where it really gets dicey. Straight in towards Lambs. Evan kind of avoids it, but down in a 1-on-3. His teammates have fallen all around him. Brings it out, but not quite finding the shots. Vaness will bring Team Secret Academy to the 6th round.
What is happening right now? I can't believe that. I was sure that Evan would have at least connected onto that member up in heaven. I think he panicked a little bit there as he saw Prodigy crossing around the bus. But yeah, look, 6 rounds. Certainly not something to laugh at for Team Secret Academy. They've called for another pause. They want to call it all as... Finding as many rounds as possible is actually key here. It's crucial, right? You know, even if you let ZOL get to success, I think it's a very, very challenging comeback. But ZOL also looking to call a timeout too, making sure that they don't get too much time away from them. It would make more sense if it's ZOL that's called this timeout. So they're going to have a bit of a chat. Great time for a conversation. Because again, just one round. One round, guys. That's all you need. How do you compose? How do you approach? Because every single round that's found puts more pressure on you to just find what should be something so simple.
Precisely. And I think that's where, you know, you start to see some of these players overheat a little bit, right? Like, they start to get a little bit over-aggressive or overstay their welcome in certain spots, and that's where you find, you know, players like Seeker able to eliminate the first obstacle already. That's where ZOL really needs to come in with a full heated effort. Like the whole team has to come in together on a bit of an execution. Still though, They're gonna have to work towards that. Current economy doesn't quite favor them too much. Vanessa pulls out the outlaw once again, similar to what we saw from the first map when he was opping.
Locating target.
Time be now. Force on in very, very quickly. Get that utility out immediately. The salvos trying to clear out as much as they possibly can. Kakarot does get taken down by NDG, but it is a little bit awkward. Once again, it's Seeker who's the hero. Again, Annihilation is up, but it's not really going to be needed, I don't think. The Razorvines make it awkward for Zind as he now has to pretty much try and get away. The Gravnet does just narrowly miss him. You know, once again, how long do you really want to play this round, Zind? Do you want to fight the fight or try clutch this out? Or do you just meet your demise and think about what's next coming for you? And I think the latter is what's required. So Team Secret Academy bring it down to just 5 now to play with. But as I said, for ZOL, they are going to have another full buy into this one. So I don't know. Operator up for Vanessa. It's an interesting selection to come on through.
I am a little bit concerned. The op definitely feels... I wouldn't mind that from Vanessa. I mean, he's able to work that thing. And
Tear them
as
down.
well as for the entire TSA squad. So far, kind of the winning condition for ZOL has been to bait out the initial utility, the gravnets, the barrier meshes, everything that stalls and delays the whole team effort. But they haven't been able to do so just yet. They're starting to get picked off.
Again, just the main factor is here, right? You know, for ZOL, it's just that one round. They've got their utility. Something will eventually work for them, but it's just about not going insane and keeping your composure round on round.
Bring them down.
Even when the success is found, you actually get a little bit of information, and that's forced a shot out of Vanessa. So he does give away that info nice and early. If he's picked up, would make it very, very challenging. They seem to be postured over towards the side of B, which is where the Vice utility is.
Trying to bait out the B cuts out of B as well. Annihilation sent through, doesn't connect. Evan will be able to fire off the shot, but Seeker holds the angle just as quick, and that's Kakarot gunned down. You might have the stealth drone, but I don't know how much space that's going to afford you as Seeker still on the site. He does get suppressed though.
You have to pull away from the orbital strike, but Seeker's actually caught by it in the end. It's now Prodigy to try and step up to the plate, but that haunt is fantastic to come through from Kevzy. Now it gives him enough time. The Viper's pit can go down, the spike to plant as well, but the pit is very far forward, and he's going to potentially bait some things out, right? You know, in the end, Vanessa has to walk through it! That is incredible from Vanessa. Now Kevzy has to split the wickets, has to try and find this gap, but I don't think he's going to be ready for Applix. What is happening right now, Kentrell?
I can't tell you, man. A blind shot from Vanessa into the pit. And out of the darkness, he finds the very target that he needs to hit.
That was a very disconnected round, wasn't it, from ZOL? You know, the 2v2, all they had to do was play together, but the pit very far forward, maybe a little bit of lack of communication, I suppose. But at the end of the day, a blind shot like that from the Vise operator player is what turns the tides there. And, you know, even after all that great utility, the Haunt catches some info. They just weren't ready for the flank of Applix in the end. So, yeah, we continue to go again. 8 rounds now for Team Secret Academy. And Eco here for ZOL. I just don't know what to think, and it's getting closer and closer to that fated double-up word.
Oh my god. Well, 4 chances to really complete it. Kakarot full sending through, just trying to break open the lines as much as possible, but still the outlaw on the other end. Goes for the jumping Bucky, not quite connecting, but at least Emin still able to work off of the space that he creates, finds a shot against Applix.
They are in position now, and with that spike getting planted, you know, I keep my eyes onto Emin. If they get a shot with this Sheriff, maybe pick up one of those weapons, it's worthwhile doing, but the distance being played out by Team Secret certainly is going to make it awkward here. MC somehow hits that shot even after the blast pack connects. Oh my god! Of all rounds to end it on, it could very well be this unless we see Finesse do it all. Arcrow's available, has to peek on in towards the showers, but they are just rotating around, playing with their food right now at this point in time. The guided salvos to force them off, and Unfortunately, Team Secret, you can try so hard, you can come so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. ZOL, they will close out the game 13-8 over Team Secret Academy, and that is certainly a reverse sweep to be proud of if you are ZOL.